Hello everyone. Before we get started on this week's episode, just a quick word that YouTube in all its infinite wisdom has decided that some of the Die Party games are now not suitable for advertising. It doesn't mean a whole lot for the content. I'm not going to censor the videos in any way, but if you'd like to lend your support so that Die Party can continue to grow, please check out the Patreon or subscribe on the Twitch channel. Enjoy the episode. There we go. Hello everyone, welcome back to 2018's best vampire role-playing show on Twitch, Die Party LA at Night. We were voted top show in the world by millions of people.
By the UN.
By, yes, the United States of North Dakota.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, absolutely amazing. So welcome to 2018, you undead fucks.
Yeah.
Not that it matters. I mean, it still feels like the early 1800s for us, right? You know.
Looks like we made it.
So yeah, we're down a player tonight due to literally momentary unforeseen circumstances. Like literally 10 minutes or half an hour before we went up, Spira had to bow out, but that's okay. The show keeps rolling because unlike enthusiasm for role-playing games, 2018 isn't going to stop anytime soon. So let's go and introduce everyone and see what they've been up to. I've talked to some of you, but not all of you. Let's start off with you, Lily. How was your Christmas and your New Year's and all that stuff?
Pretty good. Got some family and just chill time in. Wreckage and I watched a lot of anime.
Did you watch Ghost Stories?
No.
We watch good anime.
We finished at least one show.
Oh, okay.
Good anime?
Yeah, we watch good anime.
And
There's no
then
such
we
thing as good
got
anime.
into a few other ones, so that was cool. Gaming. I started a new show on the channel for D&D 5th edition last week. That went pretty well.
Yeah.
So
what's the hook? Because 5th edition needs a hook. So what's the hook? What's the big thing? You know.
There wasn't really like any big change to anything. It's just we all came up with a thing together, and we kind of just I haven't played 5th edition in a while, and a lot of the players hadn't, so we were just kind of like, yeah, 5th edition sounds kind of cool. So, and so we all just kind of came up with our stuff, and
so you just playing straight out of the book, basically. You just came up with a fantasy ass name for a town and just did a story in there.
Well, we made up the whole country and everything, and like there's a big ass war going on and shit, so like we're dealing with that. So a few different things, but yeah, it's pretty open, so we're gonna go do our sandbox shit and have fun with that, so that should be cool.
Nice.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Pretty good times. Definitely glad to be back into the vampire stuff. Sad that it's been over a month, and that our last episode was had a bunch of stuff, and then we had to have this long before we could deal with any of it.
Yeah, it's we went out of our way to like reorganize the show, put it on a different time slot for December so that we could keep rolling, and then everyone's like, I'm drunk already, so I'm not gonna worry about it. Like, it's like, oh, okay.
Look, it is December 11th, and I am already drunk, and I'm not gonna be sober until January 4th.
Don't fucking look me up. Don't call me. I'm gonna be under a couch.
I'm still not sober.
Amen, sister. Amen.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's my secret cap. I'm never sober.
Speaking about being sober, Brian, what up, my man? How you doing? How is Alcoholics Anonymous treating you?
That's for quitters, and I am not a quitter.
I like your fucking attitude, my man. I like it. Yo, you know what we're gonna do, you and me? After we get our bearings in Monster Hunter World, because we're gonna be teaming up. We're gonna be touching butts.
Oh, yeah.
Monster butts with big swords.
Butt touching for sure.
Yeah. You and me, we're just gonna crack a few cold ones and do it drunk style. I think.
Oh yeah. You just gotta watch out for you don't want to fall asleep,
dude.
In the middle of it.
Okay. Let me tell you a story real quick. Right. I never fell asleep on stream, but I used to have my streaming PC in the bedroom that I was sleeping in. Now, I don't know if you've ever, I don't know how much you streamed, but I used to do it daily because, whatever. This was when I was living in America, and I started having these waking nightmares where I'd wake up and I'd think that the stream was still on, and I just was, sleeping in my
I
bed.
lived that nightmare.
Doing my bed stuff, and, it feels so violating, man. I don't.
Yeah, I had Doc Gast had called me from Australia via the Discord app to try to wake me up.
Mm-hmm.
I think you even checked in on me, yep, he's asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hawaii was like,
wait,
oh,
when? What happened?
This was after New Year's. I got home from celebrating New Year's and was completely just shit horned. And I was like, I'm gonna fucking stream, and because I had just downloaded Okami, and I was like, yeah, I'll play this. I love this game, and I'm fucking streaming. And next thing I know, I wake up and I'm on the floor on my beanbag with my girlfriend going, "Come to bed." And I look up and Okami's on, and my laptop is up, and there's just all these fucking there's all this shit in the chat. Is he dead? No, I hear breathing. Oh, wait, now he's snoring. Yeah, he's sawing logs. Yeah, just people were literally sitting there watching nothing happen on a game and listening.
You get any donations or nothing during that time?
No, I'm not an associate or affiliate or whatever the fuck. I don't get anything for that type of quality entertainment. So.
Nice. I mean, if I'm gonna fall asleep on camera, motherfuckers are gonna pay me for it. Okay. I used to take shits at work, and there's a reason for that,
Exactly. Exactly.
You're paying me to poo right now, man. You're paying me.
So
to
yeah,
sleep.
that was the thing I did. I streamed playing a video game for the first time in a month, and I think I made it maybe 20 minutes in before I passed out.
That's fucking insane, man.
So that was fucking great.
Oh yeah, no. Okami, huh?
Yeah.
Well, they just released it on PC.
Yeah, no, yeah.
So
Yeah.
those of us who never had
I never
console.
played it, but it looks like garbage, man. I've seen the screenshots.
No,
Looks.
it's a great game.
No, it's gorgeous, and for the time, it was one of the first
Then they need to
well-animated
change
cell shaders.
They need to change the pictures on that fucking Steam profile, because I look at them just like, man, what the fuck?
Well, remember, it's an old game.
No, I get that, but old games, you can when you play an old, if you play Deus Ex on a modern computer, it's fucking 4K with all that shit, it's weird. It's super high, super. You can see the fucking angles on a polygon, you can, it's almost in its own way like a fucking.
You can see the code.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, but Akame, it just kind of looks like it's like Jet Set Radio Future looking fucking ugly.
You know what it actually reminds me of? It reminds me of the old school N64 3D Zelda games.
Yes.
Except you're a dog.
Yes.
It literally feels like a Zelda game. It's great. There's dungeons you have to go into and complete, and you can't complete them unless you have a certain, ability, things like that.
Oh man,
really
I'm gonna play that, and you want to know why I'm gonna play that? Because I played Breath of the Wild and was just totally it was a great game that wasn't a Zelda game. And
it's like the latest Metal Gear Solid game. It was a great game. It's not a Metal Gear Solid game.
Right, and I was all psyched up to play a Zelda game. So that's not.
It feels very much to me like a Zelda game. I don't know if you'll agree or disagree, but
we'll find out.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you should play those. What the 4 Apocalypse Horsemen game?
Played them.
Yeah.
What the fuck are they called?
Darksiders.
Yeah.
That's what that is. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean they were okay. Like,
But
I mean,
they're fucking Zelda games, you know, like
well, not really. They're a little bit more God of War, a little bit more.
you
Because
fucking go into a dungeon, you find a thing, and then you can like hook shot across a fucking gap. You know?
I mean, true. But they had sort of an emphasis on combat,
Yeah.
like as opposed to like puzzles, which I guess is a little. And their combat was mostly just like get the highest combo as opposed to like a combat puzzle, which is a little bit more what Zelda was. Like this boss now has a gimmick. Shoot it in the right place at the right time and then follow it up with
fucking Z targeting, man. Like,
fart in its face.
And Okami has a little bit of that as well. Like there are certain ways that you have to fight the enemy, but it doesn't come right out and tell you that. Like you actually have to figure it out, which is nice. So you have to figure out a puzzle, and then while you're fighting the boss.
I also think Fallout 4 was a huge disappointment.
yeah, no, you're not wrong. Like I remember getting fucking excited for it. I was like, oh, okay, none of what I say means anything. It's Mass Effect. Yeah, right, cool, perfect. Yep.
Oh my god, yeah, it's the worst one too because it's like, oh, we've got all these factions. They all want to do the same thing at the end, so we only made one end mission.
Yeah.
And the result for the world will be exactly
I don't know,
the same.
man. Did you?
Also,
when was the last time you played Fallout 3? Because I remember, like, oh,
true.
Your dad's in there. You should go in there. But you're a fucking immune to radiation. You could go in there and save. It's like, no, he would want you to go in there and kill yourself. Like, do you remember that fucking ending? Fucking.
I mean,
bullshit.
New Vegas is one of the only ones that had like a good story.
Yeah, I mean the battle for Hoover Dam, I thought was like one of my favorite sort of.
Is that the one with the big robot? Like
Fallout 3?
No, that's Fallout 3, Liberty Prime. I love that fucking.
Yeah. New Vegas had one of my favorite missions, which was for the what are they called? The California Republic or whatever.
NCR.
Yeah, the NCR, where you there was a mission where like they got word someone was going to be assassinated, and you went there to like try to find the assassin, and you had to go and do a bunch of stuff and find them. It was so cool.
But then you ended up assassinating the target because you were the assassin the entire time. I just wrote a fucking sci-fi movie.
God.
My only problem with New Vegas, I've said this before, is how brown it is. And luckily, there's a mod that makes it black and white, which 100% fixes that problem.
Whoa, black and white? Really? Interesting.
Yeah, like it makes it noir, and then you're like, oh man, that is so much better than brown. That's so much better than everything being brown.
Do they do like, I would love to see like a Sin City style mod for that game where like blood is still red, you know, and everything else is black and white. I would be like, that would be cool. I'd be down with that. Like No More Hero style, you know, like or whatever the fuck that game was, Mad World.
Let's move along to role playing if we can.
Yeah, sure.
Role playing?
What's that? But yeah, no, like we. All right, guys. Before we get started, just a quick word. We recently had our third and monthly fan party game. We're using the original Stars Without Number system. The revised system came out 8 days ago. I didn't have time to read it though, so like, you know.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
But that was pretty cool. So the vote is up right now for everyone to go and vote for the next role-playing experience that we'll be doing on February 3rd, I believe is the actual date. Yes, it is. That's the next date that we'll be doing it. So if you want to go there and check that out, be sure to vote for the system that you like. If you are if you are a Twitch subscriber or a Patreon supporter of the $5 tier or higher, you will get an additional vote for the system. So yeah, you can find all that on the Discord. So go there and do that stuff. Anyway, let's fucking do this. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Okay. Waiting for you to throw to me, but that's fine.
I did throw to you.
Let's play Los Angeles at Night. It has been a very long time since we've played this game. Who remembers what happened? Probably you, if you were at home who's been watching the VOD, and it hasn't been a long time for you, and you're wondering why people look physically different. No, you're like weeks off of what actually we're at.
That was the thing. That was before, and then we moved to that one. Last time was us like in the mansion place.
Right. So you guys are in the.
There was a lot of talking last time.
You're in a manse, owned by Don Salvador, a gaggle of Anarch barons are currently sort of Clue style trapped in the mansion until we figure out who betrayed the mission.
Right.
Because somebody must have betrayed the mission because Dave's gun turned into a secret Asian man.
Right. The secret Asian man, Sam.
Right. I cannot get away from that fucking reference in all the other systems that I play on this thing.
It's too good.
I shit you not. Like, I'll be playing like fucking, a video game, and I'll be like blah blah blah, blah, and then someone will be like, "Oh, it's like the fucking naked Asian man gun." I'm like, "What? What? Stop it!"
Wait, what? Where did you come from?
Surprise! I was a naked man the entire time.
After strong efforts being put in by all players last session, it was determined that you simply don't know enough about the Kui Jin to figure out this mystery, right? Like, maybe they have powers that let them betray the mission without anybody else knowing about it. And so Maria was a little bit put on the spot and we decided that we needed to bring Ice Cream Man back to life.
I don't think that decision was us. I think that decision was the NPCs.
Well, it was your decision because none of the NPCs wanted to do it. It was suggested that he could be brought back to life, and you could interrogate him because
it was
dead.
Suggested, and then weird voice in my head was like, "Hey, it'd be really cool if you just did this."
Well, so the first problem was that Maria bit the bullet, and Ice Cream Man, and was going to bring him back. He was dead for too long. In Vampire the Masquerade, you can't be dead for very long if you're going to be brought back by the curse. However, some voice in Maria's head that we've heard before encouraged her to use vicissitude to maybe shore up the numbers. Not quite exactly sure what happened. Dark magic shit. It did not mentally scar Maria. She passed she passed a humanity check that was quite difficult to pass. It didn't affect her, but it still affected her because, when you have to make a check in the first place, it's a big fucking deal.
Right. Yeah. It affected her, but it didn't have any weird, big, like super long lasting effects.
Yeah. No, it was just didn't gain a dementation.
Yeah. That mechanically didn't do really anything. Just emotionally, there's a lot of stuff there.
Also, Damien shot up some places trying to get answers and confronted Mohammed, who doesn't like him. And during that confrontation, his obtenebration leveled up. So it is now one of the more powerful powers that one of our players has at level at 4 dots.
Yeah,
basically.
I can turn into a shadow man monster with tentacle butts.
Nice.
Yep.
So we come up on the assembled vampires in the manse. You guys are all there. And one of the barons, they sort of took after the siring, which was very hard on Maria. They took Ice Cream Man off to sort of feed him and clothe him, and
why did we call him Ice Cream Man again?
Because he has
no little empty ice cream truck.
Oh right,
he was disguised as an ice cream guy and also has no name. Like literally, actually, is an unnamed human being without a name. And nobody was like, "We're gonna name you Ted."
Well, I mean, it's still better than Amethyst. Let's be real. Like,
ooh, ow, scathing.
Amethyst is like 100% a stripper name. Like, 100%.
Well, I mean,
Ice Cream
To be
Man.
fair, it's
it's
100% a stripper name in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, but she is at least 80 years old. So Amethyst probably wasn't a stripper name 80 years ago. So the Barons have one of the Barons has come to get the rest of you after they went off to try and sort of put this guy together, wake him up, etc. And he shows up in front of you and he's like, Maria, we need you.
What? Huh?
Your child is not eating.
What am I supposed to do about that?
Spoon feed the thing.
Is that a
Get formula from the grocery store.
No, he's bloodbound to you, remember? You can order him around and stuff. Come on. Yeah, they're coming back. You guys come too. He's conscious enough that we can start the interrogation.
All right.
So he sort of you've seen a lot of different parts of this manse. There's a battle room, there's an armory, there are servants' quarters, etc. It's it's a very ritzy sort of home base for any vampire. You get there is a spooky sub basement even below the battle room, and it has a lot of dungeon-esque qualities. There's a big iron door with bars on it, and you go through that, and there's a lot of tiled rooms with drains that have uncomfortable stains. Yeah, somebody went into the Unity asset store and looked up horror games, and
is there an Iron Maiden?
Sure.
Yeah.
This reminds me of that fucking house we had in Sin Eaters. It's just oh yeah, underneath there's some fucking grates here, some gates.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, it went into sort of a catacomb mausoleum. No, and this is 100% this is very old. It's older than a lot of the manse. A lot of the manse has been updated, but this is something from probably the 40s or 50s, based on sort of the tile work. Somebody installed a dungeon in the 40s.
How do you pay people to do that?
You don't.
Under the table.
Yeah, I need you to build an actual working dungeon for me.
And don't ask any questions. No, you
Si, senor.
No, you ghoul them. Then you build the dungeon. Then you kill them in it.
Well, you would need to ghoul an architect, a contractor, several workers.
You don't need to ghoul a contractor.
I love the idea that someone comes in and he's serious about it, and he does a quote for the guy. And it's yeah, it's going to cost about maybe $600,000, and the guy's here's my alternate offer.
A real honest to goodness dungeon. And they bring you into a back room, and as you pass, there are rooms with straps and etc., tables and it.
Sure. Sure.
Is it Diablo 1 where you go underneath the church and you instantly start hearing babies crying for no reason, and you're just
there's no babies crying. In fact, there's a sort of well-lit, one of the rooms in the back is actually a little bit more maintained than others. It's well-lit. It has a very surgical appearance to it. There's even some modern medical equipment. There's at least one freezer or refrigerator, and they have it open and it's got blood bags in it. And they're trying to feed this guy, and they're okay. Well, this is no good. And they're trying to feed him real people and stuff. And apparently, he's just sitting on sort of a surgical table, right? and he's just cross-legged, and he's just ignoring everyone, like eyes closed, like they're sort of trying to get him to eat, and he won't. And so they bring you in, and you see all of this, and then Don Salvador is the one to like sort of gesture to Maria, and he says, Maria, please, your child needs to eat before he frenzies or worse. We're hoping that you can use your influence on him.
So, will he just listen to me if I tell him to do something, or just suggest it to him?
When you speak, his concentration is momently broken, like on the table, trying to ignore everyone. He like opens his eyes and darts his head to you, and then sort of like shakes it off and then closes his eyes again. He says, yes, well, there is an amount of influence that a sire has over their child there. It is not like mind control, but it is more compelling than what we have been able to to produce.
Okay. And she'll walk over to the table, kind of like come around, and then, hey, buddy, you don't want to eat, huh?
His eyes snap open with anger, and he says, I am not your buddy.
Or if it's not obvious records, I'm like not in the group of people that's surrounding him, because I don't want to be like here to see. I don't want to be a part of this guy who I was momentarily like friends with.
Oh yeah,
part of his scorn. You know what I mean, like.
Right, you're in the back, right? Like,
yeah.
You're doing this sort of like Spike Spiegel thing, like up against a wall, not giving a shit. Like
Spike Spiegel, that's it. Yep.
Yeah. Later on, it's going to turn out that you swallowed the key, and you can cough it up at any point in time.
Okay, well, it's just a look. So, I know you don't know much about this. I didn't either when I first started, but yeah, if you don't eat anything, you're going to die, and we can't have that.
I will not consume the chi of another person to survive.
If I said please, would that mean anything?
He sort of inhales and exhales. If you think the word of the person who did this to me against my wishes is stronger than the hunger, you know less about yourself than I do.
That's probably true.
So like some of the, like as he says that, Mohammed slams down on the surgical table with a hand. He's like, damn it, you dumb bastard. We've got questions to ask you, and we don't need you fucking frenzying and going crazy and having to put you fucking down. So put some goddamn blood down your goddamn throat, or I'll force it down. And it's at that point that McNeil like puts an incredibly persuasive hand on Mohammed's shoulder and like pulls him back. And he steps up to Ice Cream Man and says,
We just call him Icy from now on.
Sure, Icy.
It's just easier.
He steps up to Ice Cream Man and says, I understand how you feel, but you have to eat. You'll give in to the hunger eventually, and it'll be trouble for us if you give in the wrong way. He inhales and exhales, and Icy says, there is no chance of that.
Interesting. This has my attention. You know, like what he said there specifically has my attention more than anything
Yeah, he
else.
said there's no wait. Does he mean there's no chance of him eating or drinking blood, or no chance of him frenzying?
No, yeah.
He seems to imply there's no chance that he'll lose his mind.
Yeah.
You said that you brought me back to question me, which answers my most pressing question. So get it done. Ask your questions, and then let me kill myself.
I mean,
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
Damn, Braden.
What is a Klondike bar?
Just no. I look to Don and McNeil and like, just what exactly do we want to ask?
Listen, friend. Don Salvador comes up. Your death was an unfortunate accident, but no one should have known about that little meeting, and we don't understand exactly what happened. We do not trust each other, since only we knew of the meeting, as you say, and as you know. And yet the Kuijin moved in on us. They knew, they responded, they killed you. We defeated them, we recovered you, and we brought you back to life because we felt bad about you having been killed. You know, when our word was that we would not betray the meeting. But also we need to know about the Kuijin. What powers do they have? How could they have learned of this meeting? How could they have betrayed us? We want to absolve each other of suspicion. He sort of inhales and exhales. I did not ask you to bring me back as a favor. The Kuijin are masters of what they call the Dragon's Pulse, but of course you Westerners have heard of it in other ways: Qi, Feng Shui, etc.
They're good at rearranging furniture?
Yes, actually.
Okay. Sweet.
Some of them are so good at rearranging furniture that they can cast magic spells by doing so.
Braden writes that down in his notebook.
Basic bitch powers.
I will give you a quick summary. There is positive chi and negative chi. Positive chi comes from life. Negative chi comes from death. They have different powers based on which type of chi they master and which sort of art that they master. In particular, the one who killed me is a master of a type of positive chi that allows you to change your own body. They are shapeshifters. A large portion of the Kuijin who came to this country are shapeshifters. Their clan, for lack of a better word, specializes in that ability. I do not know of any power that they could have in particular that would allow them to have betrayed the meeting, nor can they teleport or replace objects at will. At some point, he looks to Damien. At some point, his weapon was replaced with a Kuijin.
And I'm sorry, you just said that they could shapeshift and teleport?
No, he said they don't teleport. So
Oh, okay.
That's his point. Like,
Yeah,
they don't
'cause
have
the
a magic teleport power. There are powers that allow them to move through the earth with a wind. There are powers that let them.
Just because the thing that I've been stuck on is that Salvador handed Damien that weapon.
Mhm.
And then when we got back, he's like, no, it was here all along. I thought you left it here.
No, the difference was that was between two different nights. So you went out one night, which is the night that he handed you the gun. Then you came back that night. Then you went back out again. He claimed that you left the gun that night.
Okay.
The night that you went out to actually go to the clandestine meeting and when the gun turned out to be a secret Asian man is the night that he said you left the gun.
Gotcha.
Now, all of that happened in the battle ready room of the manse. So, of course, as Icy says that they don't have teleport powers, they can't magically replace items. They can become, like, masters of shapeshifting can become any item, basically. But they still would have to do the normal thing that one would have to do to replace something. It is very, and so as he says
like
this,
he would have to be in the battle ready room and change into a gun.
well,
right?
so as he says this, the Baron's, like, the tension in the room ratchets it up as opposed to going down because now the suspicion is even higher than it was before.
Well, if they're so good at shapeshifting, maybe they have impersonated someone?
That is not impossible, but it is much harder to do. They can change their shape, but they are not so good at changing their voice. They would not be good at changing their accent. They have no capacity for gaining the memory or wisdom of someone in order to impersonate them.
Wreckage,
They are
do you
much better at objects.
Do you remember last time I asked you about the wait staff or the help at this manse?
Right. What do you want to know?
I asked whether or not if he could, it's not McNeil, right? Is it McNeil?
McNeil is sort of the head honcho, but he's not the one who owns the manse.
Yeah, I remember it was someone. I think it was Don.
It's Don Salvador.
Yeah, it was Don Salvador then. I asked him to make sure that everyone is accounted for in his help, and that he said that he would force them to feed in front of him or something, so that he could check if they're actually gold or something.
So the sort of thing that you noticed about the Kui Jin is that they didn't have blood.
I know, but like what I'm saying is...
So what he said was after you conveyed that he would bleed all of his waitstaff to make sure they had blood.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And did he do that?
I have not asked him if he has done that.
Okay.
What else do you want to know about the Kui Jin? Like, he sort of senses the tension ratcheting up. He knows he's not making things better, which is fine by him. He doesn't seem to care.
All right, so let me just gather this in my head here. So they could possibly disguise themselves as a person. So we have a couple possibilities. One, they could have done that and then just not talked or anything like that, just remained silent.
Pretty much.
But I don't remember anyone doing that.
Or
they knew that Damien had that weapon, and they snuck into the weapons room or whatever it's called before we geared up and shapeshifted into that gun. But before they did that, they would have had to have put your gun back with Don Salvador?
Or something like that, yeah.
Or something like that.
I mean, there's a good chance it could be more than one, right?
Yeah.
Like, let's assume that they came in as waitstaff or whatever, right? Right?
Sure.
One sees the gun, knows that it's a part of our group for whatever reason, overhears it, what have you, changes one of them into the gun, the other one takes the original gun and holds it until I pick up that gun. And
are you saying this in character?
Well, how about I'll ask. Salvador's in the room, right?
Yep.
I'll say, Don Salvador. After we had the meeting at Disneyland, and the Quijin all showed up,
Uh-huh.
and kind of made nice or whatever. Did you, after that point, give them access to your house here?
Of course not. A vampire's haven is his most sacred possession.
Right. So if Quijin came to the house, you would have known.
I would like to think that I would have known.
Right. Interesting. Are there any sort of secretive entrances to your house that maybe they could have gained access to? Like, it's not like they just walked right in through the front door, right?
This is an unnamed baron of the group of barons that has been here speaks up at this point and says, are we really gonna, is that really the conclusion that we're gonna try and reach here? Like, we're all gonna get to go home because we think that they snuck in and their big plan was to replace a gun and kill somebody? If they had a spy in here, why the fuck didn't they just declare open war on us the second we made the secret meeting deal?
Maybe you're the spy, unnamed baron.
My name is Monty.
Monty.
I'm not the spy.
Okay.
Well, what we know for a fact is that the fucking foreigners, they don't bleed blood. So if everyone here can make themselves bleed, then they're removed of suspicion as far as I'm concerned.
That's not a bad idea.
If that's the conclusion that we agree is the right one, then that's the way you remove yourself from the pool of suspicious people.
That's the way that you remove a Kui Jin being here as a spy. That's not what we're worried about. We're worried about one of us being a traitor. I'm happy to bleed every fucking vampire and mortal in this building, but we need answers for that.
I don't think you're gonna find it from this man.
Well, okay, so I'm asking Icy, if you were going to get in here to betray the meeting, whatever, how would you do it?
Me, personally?
As a former member of the Kui Jin.
I wasn't a member of the Kui Jin. I was a servant of the Kui Jin.
Oh?
Yeah, he told you this earlier.
Well, Lily forgot.
Yeah, so basically, the roundup from the secret meeting conversation we had is he gave us his backstory of how he was like a shrine, like caretaker almost, I guess.
Honor guard.
Yeah.
He was basically an honor guard, like a mortal honor guard who guarded like their reliquary.
Yeah,
But wasn't
and
he
when
like
he
betraying them by stealing that relic?
yeah, but he
Exactly.
worked, he
That's
worked
why the
out,
Kui Jin came to America, because they're hunting him down
Yeah,
and trying
they-
to recover the
they
relic.
worked out.
Okay.
He worked
Yeah.
out what the big deal of this thing was, and that he could, he could give it to someone to protect the world from reaching its end, because the QE doesn't give a fuck about that. So he took a gamble on
Yeah.
something.
Okay.
The Kui Jin do not respect your intelligence, but they moderately respect your combat prowess. So it is as you suspect. If I was the Kui Jin, if I was playing by their rules, I would have found someone here who could be turned against the rest of you. And the response to that is whatever background music is playing in the scene stops, and we hear like well, not like that, but it just stops playing, and we hear the only thing we hear is the unrealistic sound of like leather gloves clenching, right? Like
Oh, anime, basically.
yeah, like the
So,
the
Don, are there any powers that let you tell someone's telling the truth?
not with total certitude. You can use auspex to see someone's aura, and they might give away their emotions. And someone who is lying might be anxious or afraid. If you have a very powerful dominate, which is not a trait that Anarchs have, you can command someone to tell you the truth.
Mm.
I sort of sneer at that a little bit.
Okay, then.
So, and Mohammed's the one that like interrupts on that and says, "We're all Bruja." You know, like, you want to tell me? You honestly want to tell me that any of us, in any way, would not like any of us, sure, we fucking squabble over territory, but we're gonna betray the Anarch cause to Kui Jin? Bullshit.
Well, so someone here is turned. Someone here let them in. They didn't just walk through the door. You say to yourself, Don Salvador, they wouldn't just walk in. So someone helped them.
Are there any Kuijin that can turn invisible?
Perhaps. I am not personally aware of that power, but it would not be the same Kui Jin that can transform into a gun. And additionally, I don't see the turnaround time for how long this whole thing played out. The Kui Jin came to this country looking for me 2 weeks ago to know the location of your manse, to know to infiltrate it, to know that on that night when you were looking for me, your group found me, made contact, made a clandestine meeting, to even know to infiltrate your manse in the first place. They would have had to have a traitor.
Guys, where's Rodney been for all of this?
Hi.
Rodney,
Hi.
did you see anything weird?
I see weird things all the time.
Well, I mean, do you see anything weird, like perhaps someone coming into this mansion that shouldn't have been coming in?
No. Everybody who came into this mansion should be here.
All right. How about we do something a little different than fucking running around like stupid dogs? All right? Let's talk in absolutes a little bit here. We know for a fact that there are a handful of people in this room that can be trusted above all else to not be the person who outed the Anarch state.
Do we?
The people at the meeting, obviously.
Well, you all came back okay. That doesn't mean nothing. Any one of you could have cut a deal.
Yeah, and then we mutilated and killed those people that we cut a deal with. Yeah, that's on
Yeah,
point.
sure. Here's how it happens. I pulled this trick all the time. You show up to the battle. When it starts to turn against your traitorous friends, then you start to take it seriously. You know they're not going to win. But up until that point, you're not trying. Easy peasy. They know not to kill you. You know not to kill them. As soon as the deal goes south, you kill them to eliminate the witness.
So here's what I suggest. I ignore his fucking comments completely. I suggest instead of looking internally to find a suspect, we reach out to Icy's contact, the wizard.
Why?
Why? Because obviously, whoever, decided to turn their tail against the Anarchs has a reason for it. And the only thing that I can think of is living long enough into the future where this supposed apocalypse happens. That's the only reason why you would side with the Kui Jin.
No, it's not.
Oh yeah, and what other reasons would there be then?
Money, power, influence.
You know that they give up all that stuff when they go over there, right?
No, they don't.
Well, forget I said anything then.
Look, nobody here knew about this whole apocalypse bullshit.
Except for the person who traded.
I can promise you, says Icy, the Kuei-jin would not have told the trader the nature of the relic. They would rather have not worked with him than revealed the secret that they nearly went to war with you to keep. And may yet go to war with you to keep. If they've turned one of you, it was promises of power or wealth or whatever other thing your kind cares about.
Yeah, but doesn't everybody here already have wealth and power?
McNeil is the one to say every vampire wants more than he has. It's just the way of things. You control a city block, you want to control a neighborhood. You control a neighborhood, you want to control a county. You control a county, you want to control a city. You want to control a city, you want to control a state. You want to control a state, you want to control a faction. You want to control a faction, you want to control the world.
Do the Kuei-jin have the influence and ability to even grant something like that?
One of the unnamed barons is the one to say one of the biggest power grabs in California was when we flipped the Anarch states from the Camarilla to the Anarchs. There's plenty of people who are traitors, both sides. They came out on top. They're now barons of the biggest territory, etc. Now you help the Kuei-jin take over. You take over the Anarch states. You're looking at being the new prince of Los Angeles as opposed to a baron of a borough. You know what I'm saying? So that's not off the table.
This is getting us fucking nowhere.
Yeah, I got nothing.
If you cannot solve your traitor problem and you have no more questions for me about the Kuei-jin, then I ask that you let me die.
One final thing. If we were to kill the Kuei-jin, that would solve our problems. So what can you tell us about killing them?
You've killed plenty already. Is there any part of it that you don't understand?
Well, I mean, vampires hate certain things. Makes them easier to, do in. What about the Kuei-jin?
The Kuei-jin certainly never shared their hidden weaknesses, if they have any, with their servants. I know only of their powers from seeing them use it, which is why I don't even know all of them. Now, I am able to replicate some number of their powers, or I was in my mortal life, because of my extensive training and, my tattoos. So I have some knowledge of their abilities, but I do not know everything about them. I do not know everything they know. They keep secrets about the nature of the afterlife and the spirit world and chi from us.
Oh. I, for one, am ready to go to war with these fucks. Because everyone here is just going to sit around and talk about how they're not the bad guy. Let's just fucking do it then. Kick him out of this place. You've done it before.
Muhammad's is the one to say, if there is a traitor in this room, then that kind of talk, that'll get them to launch the first strike. It'll get out. We're not ready yet. We don't know what their forces look like. We don't know nothing. If there's a fucking stoolie in here who's gonna rat on us, then fuck, like, saying that we're gonna go to war over this to rat out our one traitor might be the worst mistake we make.
Well, who do you think it is, Muhammad?
He sort of looks around. I'm going to be honest. Like, I agree with everyone here that there's power and money and shit on the line, but I don't see anybody here who would look at the Kui Jin and think that's a faster way and a better way than the Anarch way.
Well, somebody did.
Yeah, somebody did. I think so too. But I think, and as much as I don't fucking trust you assholes, you Sabat child.
Oh, grow up, you fucking piece of shit.
As much as I don't trust you assholes, you're too fucking young and naive, and you didn't have the opportunity to cut a deal with the Kui Jin. You didn't have an opportunity.
Did you have an opportunity?
I had an opportunity. Every other Baron in this room had a real opportunity.
You think? Maybe we should go around the room and discuss opportunities. Any other Barons here had an opportunity, like Mr. Muhammad here? He's the only one. He's the only one talking about it.
I mean, McNeil says we all had the opportunity.
God damn it, McNeil! You're not making this easy on me.
If we could narrow it down with clues, we probably would have already.
Well, why don't we just go after that snake bitch? You know, bring her in, gag her up.
War is war, and I promise you will not bring her in alive. Maybe you will bring her in, but you will not do it alive. She too is a master of many Kui Jin arts. She is the leader here, and they do not take their foothold in Los Angeles lightly. They do not put just anybody in that position. She is ruthless and cunning and capable in her own right. If you want my suggestion, not that any of you have asked for it.
Your suggestion's better.
Please.
Got more weight than these fucks, I can tell you that right now.
If they're playing a game with you, they're playing a game with you. They obviously don't want to go to war any more than you do, or the second they found out that you betrayed them, it would have been an attack and not a covert operation.
They threw a fucking mountain at us. I don't know how much more covert that's going to get.
They threw a mountain at you. They didn't attack your havens and your manse, and they didn't attack your feeding grounds. They didn't disassemble your infrastructure. They showed up to our covert and clandestine meeting and tried to make things go their way. They have failed. They will still want the relic, but the traitor, when he contacts them, will make it clear that the relic has already passed outside the sphere of influence of Los Angeles. They may be angry about that, and they may want revenge, but they will continue to play games with you as long as you don't ignite the fire of war yourself. Play diplomacy. Prevent the war. See what happens from here. See what they ask for. See what you are willing to give. And eventually root out your traitor by playing the game. What I'm hearing from in this room is that you're not ready to declare war over this. Or at least it would be careless. So don't.
Yeah.
One final question. What's the name of the actual relic?
It is called the Wheel of Ages. I believe I told that to you on your recording.
All right, I'm done here.
He sort of looks expectantly around.
Do you really not want to live like this?
Of course not.
I wouldn't either.
I have a serious question for all of you. How many of you actually chose this?
Not me.
And there's 4 of you from the group. Obviously, none of you did. There's like 5 barons, more like 7, I guess. And like, so of the 7 barons who are vampires in the room, 1 raises his hand. Your kind disgusts me.
Who rose their hand?
The guy who has a Texas accent.
He's the traitor.
Ah, the oil baron.
Yeah, the guy who chose to be a vampire, obviously a traitor.
He didn't only raise his hand, he shot his revolvers into the ceiling.
He's obviously in charge of La Brea with the tar pits, right? Obviously.
Uh-huh.
Obviously.
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 You, the man with the bolo tie.
I say yes, what do you want?
You can't even buy a bolo tie unless you're evil.
I made it from the skin of my enemies.
It's a filter on Amazon Prime. Are you evil? That's the only way you can see the bolo ties.
Yeah. No, it's also like to get a real nice one at like a bolo tie store. Like
No. There is no store. It's all inheritance. That's all it is. Like,
all right, you can only inherit bolo ties, or take them off of a man you've killed in cold blood.
Right, exactly.
that's basically inheritance as far as I'm concerned.
Like they made all the bolo ties when we stole all that land from the Native Americans, and it was all evil. And
Yeah,
then
why do
it's
you think
just
they were
passed down since
scalping
then.
everyone? They were just like, you're making the bolo tie trade.
Oh my god.
Right. So silence falls over the dungeon. Do any other player characters have a question for Icy about the Kui Jin?
No.
No.
The barons will ask him a few more questions themselves. Like they ask for a more specific list of powers, which he'll gladly sort of list off every individual thing he's seen a Kui Jin do. And we won't get into that because the list is actually quite long. But later on, if you want to know, then that's information that the Anarchs will have in general, or that your character can have specifically as well if they're continuing to listen in on this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I actually leave ahead of time, records ahead of everyone else.
Okay, you leave before everybody else.
Basically, the moment I said I'm done here, I just leave. So,
got it. You leave.
There's a reason for that, but we'll talk about it later. after the scene is concluded, I suppose.
The other barons will continue to question him, and then like that leaves. So the questioning is done. Some of the barons will leave. Like the plan is definitely to discuss what to do next in the war room. Don Salvador will come up to Maria then and be and your child there is very amazing to resist the hunger and also to fight the beast enough to say that he wishes to take his own life. Are you going to let him?
I don't know if I have any right to stop him.
Do we give up free will when we become undead or vampires?
To some extent. You lose an amount of ability to make decisions. As far as vampiric morals and law are concerned, then Maria does have the right to deny her child her death. But usually it's not an issue. Usually a vampire cannot, even if they want to, end their life. So even if you say yes, he may not be capable of doing it. This is a lot of talk and bluster. It's true that he has gone a very long time without taking his first meal for a newly sired vampire. But that can only last so long.
If staying like this would be a afterlife of torture for him, I don't want him to have to go through that.
To some extent, he may be feeling culture shock. Maybe if you just talk to him and reassure him and let him know that there are benefits, there are positives.
Yeah. Okay. Don, I have a question. Do you know of anybody that has that power you mentioned to see auras?
Me personally? I know that many Anarchs have it. Auspex is not terribly rare in Anarchs. Malkavians especially are particularly capable of the power when it comes to Anarchs. But it is not a closely guarded power either. So many Bruja have it. Many Bruja have taken it from foes or bartered it from other clans. I would not consider it rare by any means.
Do you know if anybody that we know has it?
Rodney?
Rodney might have it.
Is he still here?
No, he's gone.
Of course he is.
But
right.
I sense you're not asking simply to have somebody to use the power.
I've noticed some things happening recently, and I think I might be getting it. I wanted to talk to somebody about it.
Right. Well, I can certainly put out how you say APB. Let's find out who owes me a favor, owes you a favor, who has auspex. I am not immediately aware.
Okay. I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Good luck with your child, and please join us in the war room when you are done with whatever he he can feed on my waitstaff, or if he wants to try and die, then he's welcome to use the dungeon. It's what it's here for.
Yeah, all right. I'll see what he wants to do. Yeah, so now I'll walk over, like, kind of back around, like, where he's brooding on the table. Hello again.
He sort of just looks at you.
So, I know you didn't want this to happen, and I know you don't want it to be a thing, but it did. So are you just going to go, or don't you have any reason to try to make the most of it?
No. I have passed the relic into the hands of those who will safeguard it and use it. I gave up my life long before now to come to this country, to bring the relic. I sacrificed everything I cared about. I have achieved what I consider to be a karmic death, something I deserve and have earned. I believe that I have done the right thing in face of everyone around me trying to stop me, and I have sacrificed everything to achieve it. And there is nothing that I could earn or do or accomplish with this disgusting, perverse existence that could possibly provide more meaning than what I have already done in life.
Okay, well, you sound pretty sure of yourself. You don't want to give it a few days to let the shock wear off, or?
There is no shock. It was unexpected.
You're really just able to keep your calm that well?
Very few mortals are capable of inheriting the powers of the Kui Jin. It takes a lifetime of training and discipline, and that discipline is part of who I am. I am experiencing the same hunger and the same desire and the same drives that your curse has placed upon you. But unlike you, I have decades of training to keep my calm. I believe, as hard as it is becoming, that I can die, and I wish to die.
Aren't you curious about what got us into this whole mess? You don't want to figure out the reason you're here is because there's a traitor in our midst. You don't care about that?
Why would I care about a traitor in your midst?
Because that's the reason you're alive right now. You could have already had your death. But because there's a traitor, we had to bring you back.
I don't blame the traitor, I blame you.
But if there was no traitor, we wouldn't have brought you back.
Yes, and if there was no apocalypse, I wouldn't have betrayed my people. So really I should be mad at the apocalypse. Ooh.
Damn you, apocalypse!
Old man shakes fist at the weather.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm convinced that this isn't just you freaking out or being in shock. So if that's your choice, I'm not going to force you to live when every fiber of your being is saying not to. cannot. Okay, this is gonna sound weird. Since you're going to die anyways, do you care if I examine you?
Excuse me?
I'm a doctor. I find myself curious due to the nature of your coming back.
Why? What's so curious about me coming back?
You were, according to everyone else, you were gone for far too long for this to have worked.
Oh, so my life is unnatural even for your curse. Well, that is just extra inspiring.
I mean, I don't know what it means. That's why I'm asking if I can take some notes.
This body
Do I have a notepad?
has already been violated well past any sort of holy or sacred burial. Not that I was expecting one after turning traitor anyway. I guess what I'm saying is I didn't imagine my body could be this violated. So what you're proposing is not more of a violation.
Is that the consent?
It is not dissent.
You didn't say no. I mean,
Sounds like a yes to me.
We're going to have to talk about that, Brian. If that sounds like a yes.
I don't feel comfortable pursuing this. Then, all right.
I mean, to put things to be very clear out of character, he's not saying, yeah, go ahead. He's just saying it couldn't be any worse than what you've already done.
Right.
Also, I will be dead, and I won't have any say either way.
Right. I know, but it's just yeah. Like I was hoping it'd be like, I guess so. Fine, sure, go ahead. But yeah.
I love the fact that you're asking for consent to literally be a monster. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're just like,
that's basically my character.
Is it okay if I like, get in there when you're not there? Like,
Is this episode gonna be called "Consent is 9/10 of the law"?
So no, it's not gonna be called that. I'm gonna quickly address something in chat. This guy is not technically suicidal. I don't want to get too deep into the philosophy here, but he already died. And in the world of darkness, he also already passed into the next life. Now, this is something that none of the characters know and that he isn't aware of. But basically, they dragged him screaming back from hell or the afterlife or whatever to bring him back to life.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't want to kill himself. He just wants to go back to being dead, which is very, very different than, suicide in the first place.
Yeah, totally.
Die Party does not tacitly endorse his viewpoint just because he's a character that exists in the show. I think he should live forever. He won't.
But do you really want to live forever?
I do.
By the way, want to live forever?
Out of character, I really do want to live forever.
I want to be forever young. I want to be forever young.
I mean, I also want to be young.
I don't know the rest of the words. I'm just going to let that go.
When I live forever. Right. So back to in character.
Right. Okay. Well, I guess I'll just leave you to it. If you change your mind, just call, I guess. We can bring you some food.
If you care about the decisions I'm making now, all of a sudden, and you care about consent now, all of a sudden, then I ask you even if for some reason I should ask for food, that you not bring it.
Okay. Sounds good.
Well, what do you think, Maria? Should we just leave him here?
Yeah. None of the usual things I say when I say goodbye really apply here. So.
See you soon.
Would you like some ice cream?
You
All
have
right,
robbed
then.
me of my ability to eat ice cream.
Yeah, I miss it too.
That's fair. Okay. Bye then. Let's go.
So you all awkwardly leave the room.
Top
Yes.
10 awkward
Yeah.
anime betrayals right there. Jesus.
The dungeon door closes behind you, and through the little viewport, you see him just maintain his sort of meditation pose on the surgical table, and you leave him to an unknown fate, I guess.
I think how stops like the first help that I see. Hey, do you know how long it takes for one of us to go bad if we don't eat?
Don Salvador will be the one who's still there, by the way, to say,
Okay.
if he doesn't feed, he will go into torpor. He won't even die.
Oh.
He'll basically become like a mummy forever until blood splashes on him. That sort of like movie trope, only it's real.
Fuck. So should one of us kill him?
I don't want to.
I mean, I don't want to either, but I mean, I guess if we
Should
tie
we take
up
him outside?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
damn
don't.
it.
I don't want to do that. Look, it's not just that I don't want to be emotionally responsible for killing him, but if we take him outside or light him on fire or fight him in any way, that could trigger his beast, and then he frenzies and fights us. And if he is this powerful, to resist the beast, who knows? With his abilities and skills that he's learned over the years, we could lose someone who doesn't want to die.
Okay. So just let in torpor and then
we deal with it later. We think
Okay.
about it later.
That seems safest.
yeah, okay.
The ruling is that if blood contains anything other than blood in it, it still ends up like the blood sort of magically gets sucked into their body, and then the rest of the food is just food that goes into their stomach, and then they have to vomit it up later.
So like a very
Unpleasant.
rare steak sort of thing is like
No, it's still meat,
yeah, but they can
mhm.
really.
All right,
depends.
Damon, what did you go do?
I went to go find a mirror.
Okay, you find a mirror.
Yeah, I want secluded if possible. And
There's a bathroom. I mean, you can close the door.
Yeah, okay, that'll do then. I want to try and contact this wizard that saved us from the tomb of the tunnel.
How?
I don't know. I just sort of look at it, even though I can't see
They use
myself.
mirrors to communicate to other people.
Yeah.
No one who has ever communicated with them has
Yeah,
used a
but I
mirror
don't
to talk
know
back.
this wreckage. Okay.
Sure. All right. I'm wondering what your sort of
Yeah.
plan. Like, what are you going to try?
Yeah. So I look at the mirror and I'm just like, I can't see myself at all. Obviously.
Right. Yep.
And this is like the first surreal moment where maybe I've actually done that. And I'm just sitting there, I'm just like, oh, I fucking hate this.
Like you sort of play with the faucet and the turn it off and on.
I
and it
hold a
moves in
roll
the-
of toilet paper and it it's just floating, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I say, wizard, the guy, if you're here, whatever, you can hear me. I want to talk about the Wheel of Ages. do I need to like steam up the glass or something? Maybe I tried.
I mean, last time it was written in blood, so I don't like that came from nowhere.
So you try to breathe on it, but you remember you don't have breath.
Yeah,
So you have to turn on the water and make it really hot, and then just wait for like 20 minutes.
Yeah. So just I'm not sure. I don't know what I'm expecting, but like maybe he's like omnipresent. I don't know. Like
Night beer. Vampires do still have to shave, because every night when they wake up, they will be exactly how they were when they were sired. So if they had a beard and don't want a beard, they'll have to shave every single day because they'll wake up with a beard again.
Or I think I can permanently remove their beard.
Yes, vicissitude can permanently alter flesh, so it can shut off that power.
But yeah.
So
that's what I do.
The camera stays on you for a while in the bathroom, like staring at a mirror, sort of dicking around. I don't know, maybe you turn the steam on.
Yeah, like if nothing happens after a while, I'm just like, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary.
No lights, no candles, nothing happens.
Hey, wait, there's a noise in my bathroom. I'll be right back.
Yeah,
And for that myth to you have to turn the lights off, you have to light candles. That's the whole myth. So
yeah, but so nothing happens and I'm just like, okay. So I'll just leave, I guess.
At this point, people are assembling in the war room to discuss what happens next. To sort of make up the mind.
We should probably be in on that.
What ways did this lady give us to get in contact with her, this Kiwi-Gen lady?
You guys have her phone number.
I'm gonna call that number.
You don't have it. The Barons have it.
Really?
Yeah, the organization has it, not you personally.
Yeah. All right then, fair.
It's 1-900 Mix-a-Lot.
Can I leave this place? Am I able to leave?
You've already left once so far. They haven't restricted your movement.
Okay. I would like to leave with the intention of going. How much time do I have left in the night?
Actually, all of this has taken up a lot of the night. You've got an hour left before you're gonna pass out.
I don't know. Do I know of what? Was there a restaurant? I want to get in touch with the Kiwi-Gen.
Doing it on your own is something you basically couldn't do, at least that you're aware of yet.
Well, I mean, I know
you could
where
work on it.
We know where their building is, right?
Sure, I guess.
Remember we investigated that whole thing?
Well, that's one of the buildings that their mortals own.
Yeah, I'm going to call that number.
It's the middle of the night. No one answers.
Okay.
It goes over to a message machine, which is in total Chinese.
Yeah, you know what? The guy's like, Hung Tong, or whatever, and it goes beep, and I'm just like, all right, listen here, you snake bitch. We need to meet. We need to talk. I give her I don't know. Do I have access to a burner phone or something, wreckage? Or you know what? Better yet, I find a payphone. It's the 1990s. It has a fucking return number on there.
Yeah, it does.
And I'll say, call this number at exactly 2 a.m. tomorrow night. And then I hang up.
All right. Okay. Listen here, you snake bitch. Call me back 2 a.m. tomorrow night. Yeah.
Weirdest booty call ever.
Right.
No, we have a relation. Don't worry about it.
So you're not there for the meeting, is what you're saying?
I mean, yeah. Well, I'll go back and arrive surprisingly late. I guess. I don't know.
Fashionably late.
Fashionably late.
Well, I guess it depends on how far away you want to go for a payphone.
I don't know. I
Because
mean,
you can find one really close, but then it's also really close.
I'd probably go like a block, you know?
All right, you go a block away. That's fine.
I mean, it's not like I'm going across town. I have an hour left before daybreak, so.
Sure. You all. So you're all in the room. Nobody's leaving to get back to their havens tonight anyway. So that's off the table. Like, no one's going to leave tonight. So the real question is, what are you going to do tomorrow night? Or what are you going to have your ghouls do during the day? Like, there's probably a traitor, but no one has proposed a way to find him. Like, people sit down at the table and it is, it is very silent as sort of people look around.
Anybody have a next step?
People's eyes sort of look to each other, back and forth.
Girls on one side of the hallway, boys on the other. Slow dance music is playing. There's a balloon slowly deflating in the middle of the room, you know? It fell off the roof with all the other party decorations, so.
Oh gosh, Joey's so cute. I wish he would come over and ask me to dance.
God, I wish Dana would come over here and ask me to dance. Jesus.
So this can't be the first time the Anarchs have had thoughts of a traitor. What have you guys done before?
This is the first time we've had thoughts of a traitor since we've become the Anarch states.
Really?
A couple years ago, the Sabbat attacked, but the Sabbat don't flip anybody. They don't do any traitory things. They don't do any clandestine trickery bullshit. They just show up and wreck shit until they win. So this is the first time we've ever had somebody like, we've had traitors between gangs and minor betrayals of trust and power plays. This is the first time that there's ever been a suggestion that one of our barons has given up the Anarchs entirely for another faction.
Okay.
It literally is just like you hear like the.
Yeah. Has anybody been upset with the way things are going with the Anarchs? I mean, you got to have a reason to do this.
I mean, everyone just sort of looks to each other. Like, looks around for anybody to react in any way. If no one is going to make a decisive action, then I'm going to suggest we follow that man's advice and carry on like it hasn't happened. And hope that if we are vigilant into the future, we find out who did it.
So you're just trying to brush this under the rug, so to speak there, Muhammad?
That was Don Salvador.
Don Salvador?
Don Salvador's the one who talks like that. Well, no, I am not trying to brush this under the rug, but I cannot keep you all here forever. And also, we don't stop the traitor by all of us being imprisoned here. I mean, yes, we limit how well he can contact his allies, or she, I suppose. And we limit how much he can do, but we cannot function. Like, some of the most important barons in the state are in this room right now. We cannot all operate out of this mansion. Our people are not here. Our lands are not here. Our institutions are not here. Except for me, our ghouls aren't here. Like, and if we're not going to randomly pick someone and kill them, then we have to do nothing.
Would it be possible to have someone go with each of us? Have someone follow around, just kind of make sure.
Like that. Like, McNeil is the one who will say, I kind of think of 12 people capable of keeping their eye on these 12 people.
Well,
Now, if only half of us were under suspicion, I could assign the other half, and maybe they'd be competent enough.
well, it's not so much about being able to keep up with them. It's if you purposefully leave your follower, then you are under more suspicion.
More suspicion.
I don't know. I guess
Every man and woman in this room knows if he or she is the traitor. And that's all that we can all say.
So if you all say that you're not the traitor, then no one's the traitor.
Aha.
No.
Raise your hand if you're the traitor. Oh, shit.
It's him.
Damn it.
Here is what I'm getting at. It falls to each of us who knows they ain't the traitor to carry on from here with a personal responsibility to find out who it is, if they truly value the Anarch state. Because there's nothing now that any of us can do tonight or tomorrow night that's going to weasel out the traitor. And obviously, now that we're so certain that there is one, he's going to cover his tracks more than he ever did before. I'm sure they won't contact their allies or slip up in any way for some time. So, if we assign someone to everyone here, all we're doing is limiting what the traitor can tell and or how much he can interact with his allies, and that's fine. It's a fine goal, but 'tis a lot to ask of all of us who are innocent to tie our hands in such a way. You know, what if so-and-so's coterie becomes under attack halfway across town and the person following them doesn't have celerity? Are they not allowed to go save them without falling under suspicion? It's... Since no one has presented an alternative idea, since no one has a clever plan to wheedle out the traitor here and now, then I am comfortable taking responsibility for saying that you're all free to go.
Is my level of chemistry high enough to cause a manifestation to talk? Or is that with 4 dots?
Can you do sound yet?
Yeah.
I think you can do sound.
Okay.
So if you can do sound, then you can do talking.
What
Right.
level are you?
3.
Let me take a look for you.
I feel like it has to be level 4, but I could be wrong.
No, I think level 1 is images, level 2 is
Level
smells and
3
sound.
is a living being, running water, flattering drapes, roaring fire. Level 4 is permanency.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
Level
that's
4 is
right.
you can make it permanent.
Because this is out of character, me tossing it around. I wonder if I can sort of secretly make Snake Lady appear.
Yeah, just in the middle of this room, like she definitely would do.
No, not in the middle of the room, but I'm saying like.
All right, everyone, the traitor, follow me.
No, when
See you nerds later.
I'm saying when we all leave, I could tail each of the barons, starting with the ones that I suspect the most.
Sure.
And have her contact them and see what happens.
Okay, but I think the major flaw with that plan, which is the same flaw with Dave's plan, is that you are assuming that the traitor's main contact is the leader of the Kuei-jin, when it's probably not.
No, I'm not. I'm not. That's not my plan. You
well, no, your plan is to talk to the leader of the Kuei-jin.
It could
you
even
think she's going to respond to you?
It doesn't have to be her. Then it could be, in the credits, messenger number 4.
Sure, but you don't know who their contact is, and if they're contacted by someone other than their contact, like that's espionage 101. Hello, I have a Russian accent. So are you traitor to America?
Hello, this is Donald Trump. Can I talk to the latest traitor, please? No.
it's that's like, oh right, no, yeah, any Russian, just like any Chinese person is obviously like it's fine. Not specifically the person that I've developed a clandestine relationship. Just, any Kuei-jin. I'll trust him. Just any guy with a vaguely Chinese accent. Oh, yeah, you must be with the Kuei-jin. Here's the whole plan.
Would it be worth talking to her about this?
Well, I mean, that is a direction that you could go, is to, like, if everybody is allowed out of this room, then the next thing that's going to happen is that sooner or later the traitor will inform the Kuei-jin that the relic got away. They may tell the whole story, or they won't tell the whole story. And anyway, when they do that, the Kuei-jin will probably demand some sort of meeting to prevent war. Or
right, because that's what I'm saying. Like, they don't want war. So if we were to talk to their leader, the snake lady,
sure,
we could say, look, someone is sabotaging our plans at a treaty here.
Right.
Might piss her
Someone's
off.
sabotaging your plans to betray me.
We're not trying to betray them.
You did. You did betray them. You have already betrayed them.
Only because they were planning to betray us.
Of course.
Right. The cunning, I betrayed you because you betrayed me betraying you.
Well, we weren't just going to stand there and take it.
It's more of a betrayal to not think your enemy is going to betray you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So, McNeil has said that he is willing to take responsibility for everyone being allowed to leave. This is before you all go to bed in the daytime, this is the last opportunity for any of you to propose some other way or take some other action that would reveal the traitor. Does anybody have anything? If not, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm going to, as we're leaving the room, I'm going to write a note. And use the paper to fold it up into its own envelope. And on it, I'm going to address, I'll say, I'll just draw a winking eye on it.
Okay.
And I'll leave it somewhere inconspicuous. And whoever grabs it is the traitor. It's like a dead drop.
No, wait. Well, Liam Neeson this. Go get somebody to write Chinese on a piece of paper, and then go to each of the barons and be like, hey, my friend is taking Cantonese and needs this translated. Can you read this?
I mean, that makes sense. Right? Definitely no flaws in that plan.
Ah.
So we're gonna go to break.
They answer no, but it's in Chinese. And you're like, aha!
Aha!
I like how Brian didn't even take the 2 seconds to look up what no is in Mandarin.
It's probably no.
That's Spanish.
Oh. I always get those confused.
No in Chinese.
Many thanks to our Patreon supporters for this week's episode. Head on over to patreon.com/Henley to support the growth of Die Party.
So you all go to bed. I bet a whole bunch of interesting stuff happens during the day while you're completely unconscious and unable to do anything about it, because when you wake up, the manse has burned to the ground. No, I'm kidding.
See, then we get a flashback to the vampire that betrayed us, where he's like, I figured out how to wake up during the day. Because this is a bullshit anime. Right?
Well, vampires can wake up during the day.
Wait, what?
I
Yeah,
do it
right?
every fucking day.
He does it every day. But
Oh no, but like they wake up at noon and they're just like, oh yeah, no, this is no big deal.
vampires can.
Oh my god,
What?
I totally could.
Yep.
I totally could go and fucking kill literally everyone in this thing. Like,
Yep.
just I got 2 hours to do it. Just go like steak and motherfuckers. I run the Anarchs now.
No, that what Dave is describing is exactly why vampires can wake up during the day. If you are in any way threatened, you will wake up.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if Dave goes around trying to stake everybody while they're unconscious, they will just start waking up, even though it's the middle of the day.
Okay, yeah, I guess I was more like, meaning like they could just sit up and they're like, good, I fooled everyone into thinking I'm sleeping.
Well, okay, so follow with me on this journey.
God damn it.
Make a ghoul, bind him to you entirely, then command him to come try and kill you when you sleep, so that you wake up, and then you're awake and you can kill everybody else. Anyway, so the next day, night, you all you wake up. Everyone's alive. No one's been killed.
I thought about it though.
Damien, you wake up 2 hours early. Is there anything you do with those 2 hours in the manse with all the servants?
I'm gonna go check on Icy.
Okay, you go down and check on Icy.
Is he awake asleep?
Exactly where he was on the plinth is now a like calcified stone statue of Icy.
Well, that's different.
Uh-huh.
All right. Well,
He drank too much milk.
blood milk. All right. Well, I'm gonna go try the mirror thing again. See if I can get it to happen.
So begins a tradition of Damien talking to himself in the bathroom.
I know you're out there, you fucking wizard. Talk to me.
He goes to a carnival and just goes into the funhouse mirror place and like, by God, they're everywhere.
Well, actually, I wouldn't see shit, Lily. Racist. God damn. Yeah, everyone's like, check it out, man. I'm having so much fun in this funhouse. And Damien's just like... Team building exercise. Go to the fucking funhouse.
This one makes me look tall. This one makes me look fat. This one makes me look like I'm undead.
This one reminds me of my crippling existential crisis of being a non-living being.
This one makes me look ugly. No, that's just a normal mirror.
Got him.
Right. No, there's no response as you talk to yourself in the bathroom.
All right. Well, at least no one saw me do it, so I got that going for me.
Which is nice.
Yeah, I guess by the time everyone wakes up, I'm already gone. I'm already just hanging out near that fucking payphone.
Well, that's not possible because they will all wake up when the sun is going down. So
yeah,
you
but I
couldn't have
imagine
left
they're
before
like in a
then.
bedroom, you know, and then like by the time they get up and get their shit together, I'm already out the door.
Um,
I mean, yeah, you know, the moment I hear vampires walking around, I'm like, oh, okay, good to go.
right. You can tell it's vampires walking around instead of just the waitstaff and stuff because like there's like violin like.
Look, man, yeah. A series of people hitting their heads on the chandeliers happen all throughout the hotel or the manse, and yeah, I go and wait by the payphone.
You told her to call at 2 a.m.
Yep.
So you're gonna sit there for 7 hours?
Wait, I thought it started at midnight.
No, you wake up with sundown, Dave.
Oh, sorry. I'm thinking too much in Poland right now. Sorry, my bad.
Right. Not when you wake up, Dave, living in Poland. I mean, when
Yeah.
vampires,
All right,
nocturnal beasts of the night wake up
I guess
in mythology.
I guess I would. I don't know. I mean, like, what is there to do at this point aside from go back to our existence?
That.
All right.
You had a lot of stuff on the back burner when this Kuyujin thing started. Don't forget all that stuff. I mean, this is important too. But,
I gotta talk to McNeil.
yeah. So, like, there is a sense of unease, but everybody's leaving or getting ready to leave. You know, they're packing their shit. You know, they've been spending the night, right? Sleepover's over. And you can find McNeil, and he will say, "Ach, damn it."
I greet him fondly in our local tongue. Yeah. No, how you doing, McNeil?
Not good, all things considered.
Well, here's what I think we need to do between you and me.
Aye.
I think we can use the considerable resources of the police department to help us weed out our little...
No, I appreciate that you still value the police department, and I am going to talk to you about that. And we can talk about that now, as a matter of fact. But mortal police have no possible resource that could help investigate a vampire.
Well, they can look into things without seeming suspicious.
If only that were true.
I'm talking more about finding out who scapegoat is by putting them on to, say, a new criminal organization that showed up in Chinatown.
There is no criminal organization in Chinatown that the Kuyujin don't control. In the same way that there is no police or government that the Anarchs don't control, etc., etc.
Well, they have considerable estates already under their name. We already found that out. That's how we stumbled upon this conundrum in the first place.
Aye.
So let's follow that lead.
We know that we know the Kuyujin are there. What more could we learn?
Well, I mean, it's not... I don't believe that every single one of their order is tight-lipped and as virtuous as they make themselves out to be.
Possible.
All it takes is for someone to spill their guts about a rumor they heard internally, and wham bam, we got our man.
Yes, all it takes. Damien, you did good work. Don't ever think otherwise. You did good work. And you should be rewarded. The responsibility of managing the police department weighs heavily on me, and I think we should consider ways in which we can reintroduce you to that organization. I'd be happy to have you work with me to manage and contain breaches of the Masquerade within the Anarch states. But do yourself a favor. This whole traitor Kuijin thing, no offense, but you're liable to make things worse before you're liable to make them better. This isn't putting the thumb screws, so to speak, in some criminal informant. This is much more akin to espionage, which you don't have any experience in. Can you appreciate the slight difference between those two things?
I sort of like look at him like he's doing, like, you know, he's like, you did good work, but fucking stop. You know, like,
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, nothing to see here. Stop investigating.
Well, this is the part in the movie when the chief is like, you got him, just drop it. And it's like, no, it goes deeper.
I can't do it,
But I
Chief.
can't.
Look, you flipped 20 cars. I need you to turn in your badge.
Fine, but I'm not off the case, and you know that.
It's not
You're
the
off
badge.
the case, McNeil.
It's not the badge that makes the cop. It's the man that makes the cop.
That is not how that works legally.
I was born a blue blood. You taking my badge isn't gonna take that away from me.
It's a thin blue line, Chief.
Yeah. No, I Damien looks at him with a little bit of like, you know, like, oh, it's good to be back, but like, man, I hate this speech. You know, like, I don't know what face it is, but that's part of like a, you know, like
Is it a winky emoji?
yeah. He's like, here's the thing, McNeil. It's going to be very hard for me to not want to find out who this fucker is.
I appreciate that, and I feel the same way. And I'm going to work towards that. But, Damien, you haven't really proved yourself to have a subtle, covert touch.
Well, maybe that's what we don't need right now. We don't need to be sneaking about. We already know there's a fucking traitor in our midst. What good does it do to keep sneaking about?
You don't catch a traitor traipsing through the jungle with blinking lights on. You know? When you hunt, the prey needs to know that you're not chasing them for them to slip up.
How long you been a vampire now, McNeil?
That's right. 700 some years.
Yeah, that's a very predatorial type of way of looking at things. See,
Yeah.
you don't catch flies by putting out dead flies. You catch flies with honey.
Well,
What I'm saying is, why don't we give this guy...
Flies with honey, then
Why don't we give this guy, this traitor, something to report back on?
he already has something to report back on.
Something fabricated. Something that we can track.
We don't know what they would or wouldn't report on. The only thing we knew the Kuijin cared about, we already have done. It's
Well, then
in the
there's no
past.
harm in giving every single Baron here a different thing, and then seeing what the Kuijin does.
No, you don't understand. It's like we don't have anything to give them. We don't even have anything to fabricate. They cared about their relic and their missing man, and that's it. So we don't have 7 other things to send the other barons home with. And, my boy,
So I take
for
out
all your talk of
I take out the recording, and I put it on the table. And I'm like, we got this.
Everybody already heard the recording. You literally played it for us the night you got back.
Yes, but this is hard evidence of it actually existing.
Right.
Wait, did you play the first recording? Or
No,
only the
actually
second one?
wreckage, because I tried to play it, but then I was stopped. If you remember correctly, you stopped me with a character, an NPC.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, we got a traitor amidst, don't say anything unnecessary.
Right.
But aren't there 2 recordings on that tape? First recording is when Secret Asian Man first showed up, and then the second recording was Ice Cream Man.
No.
No,
He didn't bring a recorder to the first night.
I didn't bring it to the first night.
Ah, shit. Okay.
So he's got...
Yeah. I got the whole spiel of, ancient evil. And a stone wheel. So, I don't know.
Well, that's hardly divisible by 7. So we certainly can't say... We certainly can't make that information divide.
No,
and
you can. You say to each baron that you've hidden it somewhere else. And in fact...
Hey, Mohammed! Remember that recording? I've hidden it in a gold vault under the San Andreas fault line.
So you talk about subtlety, but you can't have a phone call with him hearing?
No. You don't hide a tape recording. Everybody knows you have it. Why wouldn't you keep it? Anything else is going to smell like a trap. In my estimation, anything more than that will seem suspicious. And what's more, they know the relic got away.
All right.
What?
I fucking hate that you're not doing anything.
I fucking hate that you do things that you don't think about, boy. You just do things, and they don't make any sense, and they make things worse. And I appreciate your need to take action, but I mean, I half expect you to try and call the head of the Kui Jin while calling her a bitch or something insane like that. You don't carry yourself in a careful way. You need to get more careful, boy, or you're gonna end up dead. And then who's gonna run the police department for me?
Why would it fucking matter who runs the police department? So I'll pick up the tape recording and I'll be like, I'll walk out the room and just be like, well, see you around, McNeil.
Aye.
Oh, hey guys, how's your sleep?
What else are people doing as the day starts?
I think I'll also go check on Icy.
Yeah, he's a calcified statue.
He's got
yeah,
like one of
so-
those fake glasses on now with the mustaches and the big nose.
What happens if I touch him? Does he crumble?
Do you touch him?
Yes.
He crumbles.
Hey.
Brayden,
Well, I'm sorry. I wanted to see if he crumbled. He does.
Violent crumble. He crumbled violently.
Why do you think he ended up like this, Maria?
I don't know.
Nothing about this guy has made sense to me.
Also, this isn't like a Hollywood stone statue crumbles. Like, he's all still filled with bone and stuff and like organs. They're just all calcified. So it's not just like he turned into a marble statue through the middle. You know what I mean?
And maybe if you left him long enough, he might have, but...
I wipe my finger off.
Great.
Let's go find. Maybe Don knows. I'll go to try to find Don. Is he around?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's showing everybody out of his manse, basically, like making sure nobody leaves anything. Still playing like host, right? Like he's doing his best to be host.
Yeah. So I'll Don, can I ask you something?
Of course.
Have you checked on the Kuijin person? He became a statue, kind of.
Vampires don't do that.
And when you touch him, he crumbles.
Do you mean that he appears to be like a statue, but really he's torpored and is just very still?
He's now a pile of dust.
Vampires don't do that. That's like something out of a movie. Vampires don't do that.
Okay, I thought you might know. Okay, this is weird. All right, then.
Well, I mean, do you want to see? I mean, he's not going anywhere.
Yes, I'm going to see it, but eventually it's in my dungeon.
Well, I mean, go look now. You don't seem to believe us.
I like the idea that he goes down there and there's like a helper, like a housemaid with like a Hoover.
And he wanted a sacred burial.
Yeah, Hooverback burial.
We
just sold 7,000 vacuum cleaners to the
I don't think that you're lying to me. I'm just saying that that's not something vampires do.
Right. Okay.
Look, I will check on it later, but I have more pressing matters to some extent to deal with at the moment.
Okay.
But more pressing than a what we thought was a vampire turned to a dust statue that crumbles when you touch it?
Yes.
What's more pressing than that?
Who touched it?
I did.
Why did you touch it?
I wanted to see if it crumbled.
He touches things a lot.
Don't.
But I mean, what is more pressing than that? I mean, seriously.
Every baron who controls the Anarch states has been staying in my house for the last 2 days, and I am seeing them out, and one of them is a traitor.
Okay.
And not a single one of them touched the marble statue in my dungeon and made it crumble that used to be a vampire.
And none of them touch things they're not supposed to.
Well, I mean, it's not like there was a sign on it that said "Do not touch."
Okay. Do you want this? Do you want me to? This is a weird question. Do you want me to clean him up?
I mean, he's yours.
I know, that's why I'm asking.
If you don't clean him up, I'm going to clean him up.
Okay.
And I'm probably just going to throw him in a ditch or something.
Okay. Do you have a?
Do you have a coffee can?
Look, it's gonna have to be bigger than a coffee can because he's still going to have all of his mass.
The family size.
Do you have a box? Something like we can.
Look, yes, I'll get you something. Don't worry.
Okay.
Hoover bag.
All right, I'll leave you to it, I guess. I leave with Daniel or with Braden. It's like I've dealt with dead bodies before, but I've never had to sweep one up.
Well, the strange keep getting stranger. I kind of pat her on the back.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Maybe, I mean, you did sciencey stuff as a doctor, right? Run tests. You know how to run tests?
Yeah.
Well, maybe there's some sort of test. Like, what's the composition of this dust now?
My educated guess is that it's going to be very person-like, but I mean, you can give it the old college try, I suppose.
Yeah, put it in one of those spinny things with the tubes.
The what?
The things that spin around in a circle.
He means a centrifuge.
Is that
Hi.
Rodney? Okay.
Hi, Rodney.
Hi.
Rodney, you know anything about this?
Yeah.
What do you know?
Well, a centrifuge is used to calcify
No,
and
goddamn it.
coagulate blood
Rodney.
in order to do certain tests.
Okay, so let's say a vampire died in the middle of the night and then turned into a statue. Would you happen to know anything about that?
Let's say that I do.
Okay. You do.
Okay.
One pair of cool sunglasses and the information's yours.
Would you like to share that information and knowledge with us?
I'd love to.
Could you?
Please go ahead.
I thought this was just a hypothetical.
What?
Do you know anything or don't you?
No, you said let's say that I do.
God damn it, Rodney. You're
Okay.
not my dad.
You're right. I'm not. I don't think I'm your dad. Anyway,
Why can't you
That was-
man, that'd be
hypothetically
great
be a
if,
good son?
It turned out Rodney was Braden's dad.
Yeah, Rodney went out
It
for
was a dad
cigarettes
joke.
35 years ago, never came home.
Oh, I really wish you would have just went on about Braden's dad. Like, well, of course I'm not Gary, whatever, who lives on whatever street. Like, wait, how do you know who my dad is?
I'm not Gary Pace.
Gary Pace, oh my god.
Okay, well, I have to go sweep him up now. So,
No. Let Don Salvador take care of that.
but he's my childer.
Right,
So
but he's gonna get you a box or something. He's got servants to do that.
Well, yeah, but you make a mess in somebody else's house, you clean it up, right? Just good manners.
And I mean, I kind of want to touch it again.
Okay, so like if that's the rules that were going on, how are you the person who made the mess?
He's my childer, so
Right, but he was the one who died, and Braden was the one who broke him.
If you have a baby and that baby shits in someone else's house,
If you
clean
have
up
a
the
baby and that
shit?
baby turns to stone in somebody else's house, and then somebody else smashes the baby all over the floor,
is it your problem? Or did
Are
someone
you the
destroy
one who
your
made the
baby's
mess?
well, I'd feel bad making Don or one of his people clean it up when it's us. I'd feel better doing it than one of them, just because it's kind of our responsibility, I guess. I don't know. This is really weird. He said this never happens. Vampires aren't supposed to turn into stone and then crumble.
yeah, no, they don't.
That's why I'm saying I think we should take his remains because we don't want Don Salvador to like be like, whoops, threw him away, and then we never get any answers.
Well, if he did that, then he'd be really suspicious, wouldn't he?
Sure would.
And that would really help narrow it down on who the traitor is.
That
Excuse
bird
you.
convinced me. We should leave him.
It's a ninjutsu. He just left the statue there. Yeah, that's a good answer. I like that one.
It's just you're gonna clean it up and it poofs into a log.
He's just on the roof, just looking down at you guys, going,
Of course.
"They'll never find me up here."
They call me the copy ninja.
No, Will Smith, don't pick up the wand.
But maybe we should let Don Salvador take care of it. See what happens.
If you eat a dead vampire wreckage, do you get their powers?
You'd have to snort this one.
No, because you actually have to drain. You have to drain them dry of their vitae, and you know it's more mystical than that.
Yeah.
Okay. Is Amethyst around?
Yeah. I mean, well, she's not loitering around, I guess, but she should be here somewhere, right? She was here the other night. She wasn't allowed to leave.
She's not NPCing and just standing in the corner with her arms crossed.
If you want to know what really happened, I saw the whole thing. I saw the whole time. thinking about cigarettes and fast cars.
And if you want to know, I need something from you.
Don Salvador's got a really good hair comb that I want. Get it for me.
So what was the question? I'm sorry.
So I'm gonna try to find Amethyst. Like I poke around and like ask about. I'll ask the
right. You can find her.
The people. That's what I'm calling his servants.
People, blood, people. What could it be?
Yeah. So
you can find her. No problem.
Yeah. So I go up and then. Hey. Question.
Uh-huh.
Have you ever heard of a vampire turning into stone and then crumbling?
What, like a violet crumble?
No.
You want to check it out? It's pretty cool.
Cool. Is it? It's not cool.
By cool, I mean intriguing.
I guess.
No, he thinks it's cool because he's insensitive.
Oh, please.
That's fair.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, it's weird. The Kuijin turned into a statue and then crumbled because Braden touched him. So
How could
Wait,
you not?
he turned into a statue because Braden touched him?
no, he turned into a statue and then Braden touched him, and after that he crumbled into dust.
Okay.
Wait, I thought just a little part of him crumbled.
Well, yeah, no, he sort of like we're not talking like you touch him and then it did like a Looney Tunes. Yeah, like great.
There's just like a little
Like
finger
really well
blade.
done, by the way. Like he just sort of, he did a little bit of like Medusa crumble.
I was
like
thinking more like you touched him and a little air socket came out and then the whoopee cushion like and it just sort of just like melted.
Deflates.
Yeah.
Yeah, so again, it's assumed that when you touch the rest of it, it'll also crumble.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, I wasn't sure if you knew stuff. You're smart, so.
Well, I don't know about that, sweetie, but I have been around the block a few times, and no one's ever turned to stone and crumbled.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, maybe that is a thing that happens.
Yeah, it's apparently a thing.
Maybe
I
he's
guess
a
now.
sin eater because you can totally do that in sin eaters.
Do you think it's something to do with? I look at Braden and I like. Hey, Braden, I think McNeil really wanted to talk to you about something.
Really?
Yeah, he was really looking forward to asking you about your plans for trying to find the traitor.
I'm gonna go tell about this dust guy. And I
Yeah,
run
good
off.
idea.
Wow, he's like a
And then as I like go out the door, I'm like, wait a minute. They were just trying. God damn it!
We're just waiting how we watch him go.
Hang my head.
Yeah, well, I it was either that or I do the thing where I pretend I hold the ball and I throw it, and then he goes after it. So,
I mean, I could have just thrown him through the wall.
that too. But I think he's starting to like it. So I don't know if.
I mean, just because someone likes it when you cause them pain doesn't mean that you're doing them a favor. I'm like they still have to recover from the wounds and spend the blood.
Yeah.
They still experience the pain, even if their brain is processing it as pleasure.
I just wasn't sure if bringing him any sort of pleasure was a good idea for you.
Well, right, but like, how do I not?
I don't know.
He's so intent on experiencing pleasure from any interaction with him, except for me killing him, probably. But I feel like I can't for some sort of cosmic reason, like he's a player character or something.
I mean, aren't we all player characters in our own games?
I mean, not me, but if I was, you know, I think,
I get it. Yeah. So
Right.
anyway, I maybe it has something to do with how it happened because of what I did. Maybe.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say that that's what is going on here. But yeah, just I mean, it's now you don't have to worry about it anyway. I guess it's done. It's over. It's in the past.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah. I just don't like having things that I don't understand.
Well, there's a lot of things that.
Well, the things that when I look into it, no one knows, and it's a mystery. And
So it's just the thing then, which no one else would know anything about because we're all Anarchs.
all right.
Maybe it's super common.
Yeah, I like you said, I just need to get on learning more about what I can do.
Right. And if other times you do it, things turn to stone, then you'll know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks. What are your plans now?
I'm going to go back to my Kotiri and get back to my life because I'm pretty sure war with the Kuijin is not going to happen at this point. Unless someone colossally fucks up.
Got it. All right.
I got you, Amethyst. I got you.
Are you still?
Braden gets chills on the back of his neck like Amethyst was just talking about him.
You do the anime thing where you sneeze.
Yeah.
Oh man, my ears are burning. That's weird.
That's weird.
My ears are burning. Wait, I'm a vampire!
We finally found the vampire's weakness. We simply need to talk about them.
And suddenly all the vampires died.
Aha, you can't talk about me if you don't know my real name. Call me Alucard.
Oh man, the latest episode of Hellsing Abridged, so good. It's like, did it really, like, it's the episode where it's revealed that Alucard is Dracula. And they're like, did really none of them know that Alucard spelled backwards is Dracula? Oh, great.
Are you still assigned to us?
Well, no, I stopped being assigned to you back at Elysium.
Now I'm just your friend.
Then we all volunteered for the Kuijin
Right,
thing.
okay.
And now that is in the past to some extent and will resolve in some way. But I have put off my own shit for too long. And I suggest that you and your friends get back to your own shit too. I believe you guys have a territory that you're supposed to like build up and control and defend, and
Yeah.
you haven't been there in weeks.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good point. Do you think your shit and our shit will ever meet up sometime?
Poo back and forth forever.
If you
Back and forth.
if you want to ask me on a date, sweetie, you just have to call me. And then she leaves.
All right. All right, I'm good. Whatever you
Winky face. But you like slap her butt. She slaps your butt. You go through 7 buildings. You know, like.
Right. So, what are other people doing? Braden, you sort of figured it out halfway to running to McNeil that he wasn't like, do you
Yeah.
still go to him?
I mean, I might as well.
All right.
McNeil's crying because I left him. He's like, oh, hey, what's up? I wasn't crying.
It's nothing.
I'm not crying. You're crying.
Can't never believe he just walked out.
Oh man, I wish you were role playing as McNeil because you can do a much better Scottish accent than I can.
Fucking guy's got the balls on him like fucking like a haggis.
Like balls, like wow.
Balls like wow.
Right. So there's McNeil.
Yeah. No, I think I would probably just tell him about the statue man. That's about it, really.
Well, I've never heard of anything like that.
I mean, if you touch him, he crumbles like dust. Dust in the wind.
Son, have you figured out what clan you are yet?
No.
I'm pretty sure you're Malkavian.
You think? I don't
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah, no, I've known a few like you in my time, and they've all been Malkavians.
Yeah, but those guys are crazy, aren't they? I don't like hear voices or anything.
They're crazy. Yeah.
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 I'm not crazy.
Are you sure?
I put my hand on his shoulder and I say, yeah, I'm just a lovable scamp.
No.
No?
No.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure you're crazy.
Likeable scamp?
You're barely tolerable, son.
Barely tolerable scamp.
I mean, theoretically, if you end everything in scamp, it does make it sound better. You can't.
Yeah, like a tramp scamp.
Yeah. You thieving scamp.
Oh my god.
You incredibly inept waste of space of a scamp.
That's right.
So much better.
Yeah, but also Don Salvador said he was gonna take care of Dust Boy down there. So
Uh-huh.
well, I mean, don't you think it's kind of weird that he's like, okay, everyone get out of my house. Oh, let's stop the investigation. Oh,
What?
I'll take care of the Dust Boy.
No, I don't think that's weird. I'd want everyone out of my house, too.
Well, yeah, but these are extraordinary circumstances, don't you think?
And if you think that calling off the, if you think that letting everyone go is suspicious, I'm the one who did that, Boyle.
Well, but only after Salvador brought it up.
But technically, the first person to bring it up was Dust Boy.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he's Dust now, so who gives a shit about him? He's
You
obviously
do,
not a
apparently,
traitor.
because you just listed him as one of the
But-
reasons why we should suspect Don
It's
Salvador.
So crazy.
Let me make one thing abundantly clear to you, Braden. There would be no Anarch states if it weren't for Don Salvador.
Okay.
The same could be said of me, too. So to some extent, the barrier for suspicion of either of us is a little higher than everyone else.
Well, but remember, was it Muhammad that said, like, well, vampires want more power? Or was that you? Who said that? Was that Muhammad?
Muhammad was the one who said that everybody
Yeah.
wants more power.
Yeah, remember Muhammad said, like,
I
look,
think.
everybody wants more power. And, Don
No,
Salvador-
McNeil was the one who said that everybody wants more power. Sorry.
Okay. So remember you said everybody wants more power, right?
Sure.
So does that stand to reason that because Salvador is such a big guy, he could get even bigger? I mean, he'd be a pretty good target for Quijin spy.
Either me or Don Salvador would be a very valuable traitor to have, but it's not the Kui Jin who choose which one of us is traitor. It's us. And Don Salvador puts his all into the Anarch states every night of his life. I don't see... He does things that don't just further his own ambitions. He always has. He's a true Anarch. And for a true Anarch to be the one betraying us now, it just doesn't make sense.
It'd be a good cover, though.
It would be a good cover that he would have had to have started nearly 50 years ago for very minimal That's a long con to spend it all on trying to kill you neonates on this dumb mission you went on.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we're vampires. We got all the time in the world.
Not if the apocalypse happens.
True.
Or we might still have all the time in the world if the apocalypse happens. I don't see any reason why we'd be affected.
Well, so what about this? I mean, do you think someone in the Anarchs would want the apocalypse to happen, which is why they tried to sabotage what we were doing?
I believe that Dust Boy said that they wouldn't have told their traitor anything about the whole apocalypse. We only learned about that from the meeting.
True.
So I don't think that has anything to do with why they're traitor, if they're traitor.
All right, well.
I appreciate you're turning your inquisitive mind towards this question, boy. But I'm going to tell you what I told your friend Damien. Go back to the things that you're doing. Go back to your territory. Go back to your stomping grounds, and get your hens in order. Count your chickens. There's not going to be war right now unless someone really fucks up. We can weather this and we can figure it out over the long term. Vampires, I guess I should impart this upon you since you're young blood. Vampires betray each other all the time, and that doesn't make it no small issue, but it does make it something that you have to learn to live with. And there's going to be other times in your life when you know someone's betrayed you, but you don't know who yet, and you don't know what to do about it. And sometimes you just got to carry on and wait for them to slip up.
Well, shit. Okay. I mean, we could have said that 8 hours ago and not even had to spend the night here.
Well, to some extent, every non-player character in the game has been saying that since the start of the episode.
It's literally just been like Wreckage talking to himself about what the PCs should do.
Yeah,
and waiting for them to make a concrete decision so that he could move on from the role-playing conversation.
Yeah, why do you think I'm out here fucking phoning Snake?
You're great. You're great, Damien. You're great. Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna go find Damien and suggest that we should check on our territory.
Oh, I'm probably not there anymore, man. I'm gone skis. I'm off doing my own stuff.
I turn on my homing device.
Oh, shit.
All right.
Yeah.
So it points. It's like a Geiger counter. It's like. Boop, 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 boop.
Oh, there he
you
is.
have to like.
In the park next to the payphone with his dog just killing time.
Yeah, there he is next to the park at the payphone, killing time.
What's up?
What the fuck do you put on me to make you find me?
I have my ways, and you're only a block away from the house, so
I could see you from the.
I'm Keanu, fucking sad Keanu Reeves out here, basically.
You have your collar pulled up like this, but I can still totally tell that it's you.
Yeah, the blonde hair gives it away. Yeah, so wait, tell me about Gambit. Has he progressed at all?
No, there's no way. It's only been a couple weeks.
Okay, so it's not like if I gain power, he gains power sort of deal?
It's all about time with ghouls. Okay. We're talking, he'll be a shadow dog in a decade, maybe. Like a full-blown shadow dog. You might start seeing traits of it in, a year, then a little bit more in the next year, so on and so forth. It's all about time. Anyway, you guys talking?
What do you want, Brayden?
Well, I mean, I think it might be a good idea to check out our territory. I mean, wasn't there some sort of war supposed to happen between a couple of gangs and we were supposed to stop it?
I don't know about you, Brayden, but I just found out that there's the end of the world coming up fairly soon. That, as a person who can technically live forever if you don't shit in the pool, you should be fucking worried about.
Hi!
What? Hi, Rodney.
What's going on?
I was explaining to Damien that we should probably check out on our house.
Okay.
And
what did Damien say?
He said that the apocalypse is coming, but I thought we got rid of that artifact.
Yeah, we did.
So we're good.
Yeah.
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 Right?
I'm glad blind faith in a wizard is more than enough to put you boys at rest, but it's not for me.
Hey, boys, what's going on?
Hi.
Is there
Hello.
is there a fucking flag going up in the sky? Like, I like the idea that I'm looking at this flare in the sky and Gambit like puts the flare gun behind his back.
So Braden came here to tell Damien that we should go back and check on our house, and then Damien said, "We can't go check on our house. The world's gonna end." And then I came here and I was like, "What are you doing?" And Braden said, "Well, I just asked him that we should go check on our house, and then that he said that we shouldn't do that because the world's gonna end." And then you showed up and asked us what's happening, and then I started telling you that Braden showed up and said that he should go check on the house, but know that the world's gonna end, so we can't.
Okay, got it.
How do you feel about the end of the world?
I mean, it would suck, but yeah. I put it in oh shit! I just put it in a slot. I hope it went to the right place.
That's what I'm fucking talking about. You just put it in a fucking hole and you left it there.
Well,
okay.
We had very pressing matters at the time. A mountain was about to fall on us.
And also, that slot did open up a portal outside of the mountain.
Yeah,
so
there was a thing.
That's a very good indication, I feel.
I had questions. I need to get
we
them
all
answered.
have questions.
I mean, can't you wait by a phone at our house?
I'm not waiting by any phone.
Like, there's literally nothing here but this phone and like a light that goes on this phone.
Well,
and you're just standing here.
No, I'm like
It's like just like a field. Like
I'm like,
super
okay,
strength to just push the phone over.
I'm
There's
playing.
a phone.
I'm playing with the dog. The phone is across the road, right? That's what I'm
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
imagining.
Okay. I thought you were standing at the phone.
Yeah,
no, just stand.
it's not like I'm just like every couple seconds pick up the handpiece. I'm like, hello,
hello? Damn.
Oh.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think we probably should go see how the place is doing. Haven't seen Lavin in a while, so
Yeah.
I assume the work's done. So we actually have a place. We probably have a place to stay now.
I mean, it's
It's
been
all
a couple of
blacked out.
months. We could ask her if she could be on the show again, but I don't know if she's figured out her stuff.
What are you talking about there, Rodney? That makes no
What?
sense.
Did I say something?
Yeah. So yeah, we can go check that out. Make sure it's good. If it is, grab our stuff from the taste and then move in.
I mean, that sounds like a good idea. We need a
Moving
base of
day.
operations.
All
Look,
right.
This whole end of the world, Kuijin War, it's been fun. But I'm ready to get back to the daily slog of muscling in on shitty lawyers and
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Remember when we just went to that guy's office?
and then like, you know, fighting ghost people and then having to stay in our uncle's basement.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you kids have fun. I throw the stick.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Well,
See you.
we'll put a pot of tea out for you. Blood tea.
Yeah. Good joke.
Thanks.
We'll leave word at the taste if things are good, I guess.
All right.
All right. To East Westerton, LA.
All right, so you guys are all walking
West
away,
Sufferton.
and Rodney leans into you two and says, "Does anybody else feel like Damien is up to something?"
Well, I
Like
mean, he's always
constantly.
up to something.
Like
Yeah.
But you know, that's
Good
his
fucking
thing.
insight, Rodney.
That's his thing. So
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I assume
right.
if so, my assumption is if something comes out of it that affects the group, he'll tell us.
Okay, but the last few times that Damien has gone off on his own and gotten up to something, he's nearly gotten one or more of us killed.
Yeah, but now we're not around, so it'll just be him.
Fucking 10 points to Pace crew over there. Damn.
I can't save Damien all the time.
Right. Braden can't always be there to protect him.
I don't even have clean sheets in my box yet.
What?
You know, to like pass out on.
I got
Sleep in a
you.
box. I don't really like calling it a coffin. It's kind of weird.
You have a coffin?
No, it's a box.
Wake up, Squeaky, you're my new best friend.
Yeah. That's what dog sleeps. That's your bed, bitch.
Look, I'm just saying that one of these times we're going to have to get out in front of Damien causing trouble rather than merely responding to it.
Well, you know, the little kid goes and touches the stove and it's really hot and they pull their hand back. Eventually, they're not going to touch the stove anymore.
Unless that kid is one of those kids that's born without a sensation of pain.
Well, then we have a bigger problem.
Yeah, like parents cannot find out about that shit.
Yeah.
Then the kid just burns the house down one day.
Well, there's a lot of issues with that because they can have something happen inside and they don't feel it, and so then it just goes undiagnosed, and then anyway.
Then they go to therapy for years.
Yeah. So,
they never quite get out of the system and reestablish themselves as a normal, high-functioning person.
Should we go back to our place?
All
I
through
think
middle
so.
school and high school, they have no
Okay,
friends.
well, come on, let's go, everybody.
Then they have trouble establishing themselves as a well-adjusted adult with a paying job.
So we go to our East Olympic Boulevard.
Yeah, the place that, well, like, okay, we'll catch up with that.
Okay.
Damien,
Yo.
do you spend the whole night here?
I probably, yeah. Why not? I got nothing better to do at this point. If there's something to be said about detectives, they're patient.
Sure.
So, stakeouts, that kind of shit, yeah, not a problem.
Right. I'll cut to the chase. You're not going to get a phone call on this telephone at 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
2:05 a.m.
Damn. I left at 2:04, so you know.
Yeah, you fucked it up.
Ah, damn.
If only I waited another minute. There will be no phone call.
Mm-hmm.
So what is going to be Damien's sort of
I call the same
response?
place, leave a message. This time I play back the tape with the most damning piece of voice recording.
I'm not going to cut to the chase. They're not listening. This is just a company run by mortals. You're not getting through to them. You're not contacting them at all.
All right then. Well, I mean,
this is like the ghouls. These are Chinese people running a Chinese company. They're getting messages from an American. They just think it's a wrong number.
okay. All right then. They're ghouls, you said? We know they're ghouls, right?
Well, they're some sort of thing like ghouls. They're some sort of, they're Igor type motherfuckers. Like, but the people in question, they're a Chinese company. They're Chinese people. They don't speak English.
All right. Well, here's what I do, Wreckage.
They just think that you're a wrong number.
First thing I do is I make multiple copies of the tape.
Sure. So like just with like a piece of like you're gonna go buy the equipment, or are you gonna go somewhere and do it, or do you want to try and keep as few people involved as possible?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just keep as few people involved as possible. Whatever.
So you'll buy the equipment to copy tapes, and then you're gonna make some copies.
Yeah, I mean, like you can just get double tape deck fucking player, and then you can press record on one and play on the other.
I mean, you'll lose some JPEGs, but yeah, it'll more or less get the job done.
Yeah. And then I will find a space and bury one of them, and I'll post the other one to my ex-wife. Yeah. Think about that for a second.
Does it come with any explanation? Like, don't listen to this, or do listen to this, or this is a mixtape. Like, what? Is there any letter at all?
No letter. I just send it over.
Sure.
Yep. and then I go loiter around Chinatown to make myself known to the Kiwi Gen.
Right. So you buried one somewhere.
Mm-hmm. I know
you
where
sent one off.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Obviously, you know where it is.
And then I'd bring one with me, right?
And you bring. Okay, how many copies do you make?
I don't know, maybe 4. Like I'd probably bury 2 of them, right, in different places, and send one off, and then bring one with me.
Sure, got it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all gonna be some time. Like, obviously, you waited for the phone call, so we'll catch up with you later then.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So.
Lily and not Lily and Brian. I mean Maria and Braden. You're heading back into town, so to speak.
Right.
Back to your pad.
East Olympic Boulevard.
That is one of the streets that it is on.
It's across the street of East Olympic Boulevard and South Lorena Street.
Correct.
Catty corner to that blog.
House.
That was a deep cut back to like episode 2. In case anyone was wondering.
How's the Sears doing?
There's one on every corner.
Doing good.
The Sears has burned down.
No.
The Sears has died of dysentery. Right. So this is now. Was it the vein or vein?
It's just vain.
Yeah. So this is now vein. It is every bit up and down the design that because she hasn't been playing, and a lot of time has passed. So essentially, the stated goals are simply achieved. If you want to achieve all your goals without actually having to do the minutia of them, take a hiatus from the show. But before you leave, tell me what you're attempting. And when you come back, you'll just have succeeded.
Is the security system set up yet, or do I still have to do that?
Yeah, you can have set that up.
Okay.
All right. I think now's a good time to announce that I want vicissitude 10, and I'm not going to be able to play for 10 weeks.
1 level each week. Yeah.
So, I mean, we can do that, but at vicissitude 10, you just become a writhing mass of flesh.
You're like that bender who, when he gets turned into a human and gets real fat.
Yeah.
Woo!
I heard him. He just went woo.
No, that's the air escaping from his fat folds.
Woo! He pushes it again. That's the best part. So
Man, I don't know why I remembered that just now.
Yeah. Okay. So, the vein is done. We have a place to stay. So like so basically the construction up top is good, and like we have a sealed off place where we can collapse and we won't die of sunlight exposure.
Right.
Yay.
Tell me about your security system, or at least what you want it to be able to secure.
So,
system.
If I remember correctly, it had we've got cameras around the rooftop. We've got.
Is it an Amazon Home where we can let the delivery person into our place?
Yeah, we just go Alexa.
Yeah.
And then
wow, you are like, this is like 20 years before that.
My last name's actually Bezos.
90. Yeah,
When did-
about 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've got like a network of cameras on the roof. There's a little like uh, locked room within the apartment that contains all the surveillance equipment. Um, on the door leading into the apartment from the inside, because you have to go upstairs to get to it. There is a keypad, which we all know the code to, but also a camera right there. So if anybody rings the bell or tries to use the keypad, it like takes a picture of them or activates video, and we can talk to them. It's like an intercom. Um, and on the windows, there are, you know how like in security systems, just at your house, when they put the alarms on the windows, basically it's like almost like a magnet, and if the magnet breaks, then it sets the alarm off. So those are on all the windows as well. We don't want anybody messing with our shit, especially the windows.
Got it.
Rick, I have a quick question for you. If a La Sombra is looked at on a camera with heat vision, what do they see?
Well, if you look at of any vampire on a camera with heat vision, you see nothing.
I know that, but you still see like it's still like a black mass of like cold, right? It's not like
It's still a shape. Yeah.
it's still a shape, right? But it's like
Right.
it's a sensor rather than a lens. So does it show up? Like how does that work exactly?
I would have to look closer at the nature of their curse, but my first guess, without looking it up, is that you would show up like anybody else on a heat sensor.
Mm-hmm. So okay. So if you're looking through like a scope on a gun that has like heat sensor.
Well, yeah, the thing about night vision and heat sensors in particular is they don't actually have any sort of camera.
They're lenses, yeah.
Well, they have sensors that then transmit, like they build images through a computer chip into an image. So at no point is it like photographed or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Cool.
Bye, Lavender. So yeah, that's my guess anyway.
All right.
I'll have to take a closer look.
Well, there you go.
So yeah, you have the security system, you have the location.
Can we? So the
Lavin
employees,
is just not there tonight for some reason.
right. But now
Weird.
the employees of the club, like, can we talk to them and ask them if anything kooky has been going on, like any fights or?
You can talk to them. They'll say that everything's been fine.
Okay. All right.
Are they cool with us just kind of coming in and being like, "Hey, we also own this place"?
No, you don't own this place. Lavin owns this place.
But like,
She has told them about us.
yeah,
you
I guess that's
live upstairs,
Right.
but the employees, you don't write their checks. Lavin does.
no,
And-
yeah.
Right.
Like, so you are like very specifically what happened is that the deed got signed to her and everything. So like the whole transition has been taken care of by Lavin, and you guys, like, maybe from the perspective of the employees, you guys are at best renters, maybe, like,
Okay.
until you explicitly with Lavin as a player character again, assuming she ever comes back, like sit down all the employees and say, these are my co-owners.
Okay, yeah. I guess
like-
just I want to make sure that we didn't come in or like, "Hey guys, we're just gonna go up to our place," and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like it's been clear that we live upstairs and we can basically come and go as we please.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
It sounds more like you've set things up so that you can come and go from outside anyway.
Yeah.
So, like, they wouldn't be even really involved unless you wanted to.
That's a pretty
specifically
shitty
go-
apartment, by the way, if you have to go through a nightclub to get up to
Yeah.
the living space. I imagine that there is like a way up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to make sure things were clear, and so like we didn't have to deal with the employees being like, "Oh my gosh, someone's breaking in," or whatever. But yeah, that's good. I guess.
That guy seems
Yeah,
to
I
go
guess
into the nightclub at 2 in the afternoon every day. That's weird. Why does he do that?
I guess if things are good, we can grab our stuff from the taste.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Now, what is your stuff?
The stuff I grabbed from my old apartment.
Right. But I just mean for everybody. Like,
I don't have a lot.
what is the extent of your crap now?
Well, I mean, I don't have stuff anymore. My house was fucking confiscated by the government, remember?
Ah, of course.
And really, my stuff was the stuff that I used to set up the security system.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So
I'm the only one with personal belongings.
yeah,
Got it.
I'll walk with you.
Okay,
I'll keep you company.
Okay. How about you? Rodney? You want to come back, or
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
To the taste then.
Sidewipe. Yeah, taste.
Yeah. So I'll collect my things. I assume we have a taxi, so I'll just like have them wait outside, and I'll like start putting my things in the trunk. So
Is, fuck, what's her name?
Alexa.
Is she there?
Yeah.
Can I ask her about Dust Boy?
Say something, sure.
Hey, Alexa, so we saw a vampire that killed himself.
That's uncommon.
Well, yeah, you want to hear something even more uncommon? He
Nah.
turned into like a statue. But when I touched it, it crumbled.
Really?
Oh, yeah? You can ask Maria. I take it you never heard of anything like that before, huh?
You kids take care of yourselves. And she sort of hugs you.
Well, do you know, but do you know anyone that might know about it?
No.
Oh.
She takes Maria by both shoulders. And says, I'm so happy that you got your own place and you're ready to get out on your own.
Thank you. I if you ever need anything, just let me know. I saying thank you isn't enough for all that you've done for us.
If there weren't mortals outside here, I would cry.
Yeah, that'd be a bit of a scene. Here,
Stigmata. She starts right. Ah! Some guy smashes a window. Anarchy.
I'll grab a thing and like write down the number to the vein, or like I assume we have a phone number to our apartment or whatever.
Sure. Yep.
So yeah, I'll like write that down. It's like here's the number to our new place. Yeah, if you ever need to get in touch, just give us a call. Yeah, thanks again.
She'll hug you and wave
Okay.
goodbye. Yeah.
If Damien comes by, could you let him know that it's all good there?
Sure thing.
Thank you. All right. I think that's all we needed to do there. I believe so, yeah. So, I've picked out one of the rooms, and I'm just so now one of the rooms is just stacked with medical textbooks and like 3 bags of clothes and things.
There's a knock at the door.
Come in.
I can't. There's like a weird lock.
I want to look. I'll look through the video. Who is it? Do I recognize him?
It's one of Don Salvador's servants.
All right, we'll let him in.
Like, air depressurizes.
All right, you're gonna get sprayed with something. Just deal with it. It's fine.
Please deposit blood sample into the container below.
We need to spray with the delousing powder. It's gonna burn.
Delousing.
We're going to take off 7 layers of your skin. Yeah,
It always sting for a second.
So the servant, like the door opens and there's a coffin behind him.
But you got that there box.
Dust Boy.
Oh, thank you.
He sort of just like slides it over with his foot through the door,
Okay.
and then sort of like, woo, and then leaves.
Bye. Okay.
and that's when our collection of dead people started.
Really, that's when it started?
Should we open it up?
I imagined that gif, right? Where the guy opens the fridge and there's a bag and then it says dead bird and he opens it up and it's like, I don't know what I expected. Like,
is it like nailed shut or anything? Or like
No!
Oh, I don't know.
It's like the 7 seals, like, wrapped in runic tape. And
Okay, I like
he must never escape.
I lift a little bit and it's just filled with dust.
you open it
No,
up
it's-
and then 7 ghosts come out and then they melt the Nazi faces that you have.
No. 13 ghosts.
Ah, of course.
The 13 ghosts of Scooby-Doo get out.
Oh.
And then they spend an entire season trying to find them again.
Right, of course.
Right. Yep. But there are also a couple of ghosts that they see every episode because they're like Team Rocket.
Ah, yes.
No, it's more like I sort of described earlier, you know, someone got Medusa'd. So like there's like an elbow and then some dust and then like a bit of a torso and some dust.
Okay.
Right, you know, like
And then there's like a complimentary like supersized pack of glue next to it. And it's just like,
good luck.
A pack of desiccant that says "Do not eat."
Okay. And I shut it. Like, we don't have. Do we have storage?
Well, I mean, yeah, we got storage.
Okay.
It's a pretty big apartment. I mean, considering that it takes the same, it occupies the same, floor space as a nightclub.
Okay.
Oh,
I guess
know.
I'll.
We could put like a tablecloth over it and use it like a coffee table.
That's no. That's
We could get like, there's a lot of ceiling space here. We could get like a sub ceiling to store things. We could put all our coffins up there.
wait. All of our coffins?
I assume we're gonna get more coffins.
Why?
Why did we get a coffin?
Okay. I'm gonna push this into the other room. Can I just start? Damn it! I pump up blood into my strength so I can just lift it and just carry it into the other room.
Yeah, no, there's a huge scratch mark.
well, that's not going to buff out at all.
Yeah, I put it in the other room.
We
and I
just
come back
got the
out.
flooring redone.
I know.
This must be why ancient vampires just live in rundown houses, because they're so sick of keeping things remodeled.
I guess.
Because I feel like I'm just comfortable living with this scratch in the floor for the rest of eternity now.
Do we? I guess I'll look into where he wanted to be buried.
Probably in his homeland, and there's some sacred ritual.
Well, I don't know it. I would just. I figured we can get an address and just
Look, Maria, just fucking nut up and start experimenting with the body. We all know you want to.
Whoa!
She's already got like a hand in there. She's like, whoa!
You don't gotta call me out.
I react to that.
I resent
Yeah.
that assumption.
She's like picking like flesh out of her fingers. Like, come on, guys, don't jump to explanation.
Got a cuticle thing.
Like everybody knows about that like abandoned sub basement that you've been taking bodies to.
Excuse me?
Did not everybody know that? Anyway.
You just go down the fake stairs that
he gets smart.
But then you look by the couch and he's gone.
He's actually not there.
No, he does the elevator thing where he's like, ding. And he's gone.
Oh,
Fucking vampires.
Yeah. It broke me for a second.
Yeah, that's what I do. I break people.
Yeah, so I like
I take a stick, I break you like a
he
child.
just leaves after saying that. I just look at Brayden and then I just go back into my room.
That's about my response to him as well.
So I think that's all we're going to be able to get done tonight.
Okay.
We'll leave off with a spooky, shadowy scene that none of the player characters know about. You know, only seen by the audience.
Is it an after credits scene?
Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson comes out of the coffin, and he's
No,
like,
this is-
I'm here to recruit you to the Avengers. Graveyard shift Avengers, that is.
Have you heard about the Avengers Initiative? God, what a stupid fucking name. Like when you really think about it, Avengers.
Yeah, they're getting a vengeance.
Metal Gear, A Vengeance.
I mean, I'm literally watching that right now.
So, it's the lady. It's the snake lady, and she's in her.
Someone's been blowing up my DMs all week. I don't know who it is.
She's in her opulent, office. You know, her bad guy villain office, where probably the button is.
Oh yeah, bigger and better than North Korea's one, right? And it actually works. So.
Politics.
Got 'em.
So it's Snake Lady, and she there's a phone on her desk, but that's not the phone that she's talking on. There's like a servant, and he's got a pillow, and there's a phone on that. And he's kneeling, lifting up the pillow, and she's using that phone, and it's all over the top. And on the other hand is a distorted voice, and we catch the tail end of him or her telling like the full story about the relic escaping, and like the relic is out of LA, and blah blah blah. I'm sorry that the plan didn't work, etc. And she sighs, and there's a brief moment where she's quiet, and the person on the other end of the phone is quiet, and her eyes are closed, and she just takes a minute, and she regains her composure and begins to speak again, and she says, "That's all right. We'll handle the situation. But we can't let this sort of meddling go unanswered." And there is a pause again, and the distorted voice over the phone says, "I understand." And then they hang up, and she addresses her lackey and says, invite the Anarchs to our Elysium. And then it goes black.
Didn't it? They do it in fucking like some broke ass fucking like like
Fantastic.
replica version of Disney World. It's called Whitney World.
Oh.
Come on, Dave.
Oh.
There is a Disney World China. It's called Disney World China.
Is it? I was talking more like a broke ass one where they use the same name but they change one letter.
Right, because you have really, really offensive stereotypes about Asian people.
Wait, that's offensive?
Yeah, super.
Okay. Well, that wasn't my intent. It was more like how
It's
you
fine.
see like how you
We
see like
know.
the Simpsons, but you call them the Gimpsons, you know?
We know you don't know any better, Dave. You're our lovable Australian farm boy.
Fuck you. Okay, cool. Disney World, yeah.
Disney World. That's a funny meme.
Yeah. All right, so let's do some shout outs and wrap this bitch up. This snake bitch up. Lily, let's start with you.
Hi, everybody. I am Lily, Lilipad Nebula, over on the Twitch and the Twitters. I do streamy stuff over there, some role-playing games. I'm going to be getting back into doing some video game stuff this year, getting a schedule and all that good stuff. So should be cool. And yeah, I had a lot of fun tonight. Really glad to be back doing vampires. And yeah, looking forward to more. Thanks for hanging out with us.
What's your schedule going to look like?
So I've got my most of the week's going to be doing role-playing stuff because of all I'm in this and a couple other shows. But then besides that, I'll try to do like kind of a similar thing where like weeknights, sometime in the weekends, doing game things. Kind of figure out what works for me, I guess. I'll probably just do random ones until I figure out what works, and then I'll make an actual like schedule out or whatever. So, Yep.
Well, if our schedules ever align, let's do some gaming together. I'm always looking for more people to fucking play games with.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. Spooty McTootie, what up?
Yo, glad to be back with my vampire friends.
Friends is a strong. Nah.
I'm glad the show is back. I'm looking forward to next week. Sounds like there's some intrigue happening.
I hope I get to be the one that starts a war. Like, that'd be great.
You could not have a war, you know.
Nah.
I stream occasionally on my Twitch channel. Sometimes I even stay awake. My girlfriend and I have a new blog. I'll leave a link in the chat. You should check it out. It's all about cooking.
Shit, dude.
You might like it.
What type of stuff are you cooking?
So what we're doing is taking expensive meals and making them inexpensive and showing you how to entertain on a budget and have it still be fancy and nice. So it's called chefandpauper.com. So you can check that out. Oh, Firo already linked it. Holy
There's
shite.
a reason why she's mod of the year every year.
You are mod of the year.
I would like to move that we begin a mod of the month award so that we can award it to Farrell 12 times a year.
There you go. But yeah, so no, it's actually it's doing
Free
really
tickets
well.
to Disney World.
It's already doing really well. It's only been live for like 3 days, and we've gotten over 10,000 visits. So it's pretty good. So check that out, and I will be here again on Thursday for some Surge.
Fuck yeah, man. All right, guys. Mr. Wreckage is the last one that we need to talk about. Hello,
Hi, everybody. I hope you enjoyed our show. A little slow. There was a couple of things that we couldn't do because Spiro wasn't here, and that made things a little slow or a little awkward. But, you know, we need to get back into it at some point and in some way. I'm sure next week everybody will be here and we'll be going at full steam again. I hope you will also tune in on Wednesday for Dead Man's Crest.
Because that's actually running.
and that should also have all of its players, hopefully, because nobody said anything. So hopefully we can resolve some pirate stuff on Wednesday as well. That's the two things that I do that I care about and that I want you strangers to know about is this show on Mondays and Dead Man's Crest on Wednesdays. If you don't like either of them, then I can't help you. I don't have a blog about a thing. I don't have another thing that I think.
You should make a thing.
You should make a thing.
No. I've spent enough time doing stuff that I don't always have time for and don't always want to do.
I think this is literally the first time we've played this game without rolling a single skill check.
Yeah, there was
yeah.
really no point in a skill check at any point.
Yeah,
nobody did anything that they could fail, really. If you're a really clever player, right, you only ever do things that you can't fail. And
but unless you're playing Mouse Guard, you want to roll.
I don't think you want to roll. Anyway.
Yeah, you do, yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed our first return.
I can promise you, Coyote, you're probably caught up on Dead Man's Crest. I need to catch up on Dead Man's Crest. When was the last time that aired? Like 2 months ago.
How many episodes you guys in? Like 13? No, 4? Anyways, guys, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed our return. This will be back on a weekly basis going forward. Hopefully without any further interruptions. If you did enjoy tonight's game, why not subscribe to the channel, get access to the best and most on Twitch, and show your love for everything that we do here, because this is a labor of love. It really is. I do this full time along with my friends here, so it does take a lot of work to get everything up and running and stuff like that. Going forward in the future, tomorrow we have Abyss, which is our Hollow Earth Expedition role-playing experience. Tomorrow, I think we'll have a full crew for that. We'll see. I know one guy has said that he might not be able to. He's not going to be able to make it. So we should go up. If another person pulls out, then we won't have it. That's pretty much my rule. If 2 people are missing, we just don't do it. Dead Man's Crest on Wednesday, Surge on Friday, Thursday, and Friday we have Board Games of Bitter Bros. And starting on Sunday this week, we have the very first episode of Die Party Whiskers and Whiskey Academy Tales, which is our second season of Mouse Guard, with the Eric, the Poo Master, Sandwich Master Vulgaris. So that'll be fucking awesome. Basically, it's the way I would describe it is Harry Potter, but like Mouse Guard. So it's young mice in training to be Mouse Guard at their school for,
Mouse
being
guards.
a Mouse Guard. Yeah, it's
Nice,
cool.
yeah.
It's gonna be awesome. They're gonna have like fucking sporting events, and it's gonna be high school fucking bullshit. That's pretty much what it's gonna be. So, anyways, guys, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the show. We'll be back in a couple of hours for the daily stream. I'm gonna get some shut eye, but thank you very much for watching. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.